Trollord Games. Join the fray.
Oh, good thing I have it.
Yes, it was.
All right. Hello. We are not streaming. We are recording, though. The reason we're not streaming is we're having technical difficulties, but we're still going to play session 17. I am your CK, DM Samuel, and my players are going to introduce themselves just because we need to have a cohesive start to this so that when it gets posted on YouTube, it'll actually be as if we streamed it. So let's start down at the bottom of the list with Jake.
Hi, I'm George Hardy. I'm playing Jake Tildor, Cleric of Durendale.
And Richard.
Hi, I'm Richard Clayton. I'm playing Mahl, a mist elf in search of goblins to kill.
And Burt.
Hey, I'm Alex, and I'm playing Burt Longfellow, a halfling rogue.
And Matt. I should have said and Alex before. Burt,
good evening,
whatever. Sorry.
Same thing.
Good evening, everyone. I am playing the Gnomish Primal Druid, Bestripholme Morningdawn, better known as Trip.
And Chris.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris. I'm playing Grimbol Oathborn, a Dwarven warrior priest.
And last but not least, Robert.
Hey everyone, Robert playing Rekmit Sourbeard, the, Dwarven Rune mark who seems to keep getting ready to die.
That's reality there.
So who wants to do the recap? And fill Jake in on all the things he missed as he was standing outside with Daisy the mule.
I'll do one. So we arrived at the mine, and after a brief discussion with the lovely and helpful surveyors, we determined that we would enter the mine and they would stay out being guarded by Jake with the horses while we went in and explored. We found the entryway pretty much as it had been left when the mine was abandoned, how many ever hundred of years ago that was. The office did have some paperwork and stuff left in it. And I think we found even a little map in there, a little portion of a map. We found the rail line and we saw the skeletal footprints continued down that way, and we followed the mine shaft into the mine. And we did run into a good number of skeletal goblins, which we proceeded to get annoyed enough that they would fight us, and we fought and destroyed quite a lot of them. Some others ran away, and we weren't looking for them, but before we got to them, we found another chamber, and in that chamber we found what appeared to be a dwarf-made door, just from the level of construction of it and the symbols on it. My character was able to, in a coding manner, piece together what the message on it was. And then Rekmit was able to come in and read it and actually speak it. And he made several different verbal attempts. And finally, one of them opened it. And the door opened. And we were able to go inside. And inside, we were able to find a chamber and a door. And we opened the first two doors, and one of them opened to a chamber, and we opened that. Trip got me to open it for him, and we saw a bunch of purple fuzzy stuff in there. I didn't like the looks at it and suggested we close the door and move on. But someone decided that they would like to get a sample of it and see what it was. And so when they did that, the plant lashed out at them leaving them with a poisoned burn on their arm that was taking them down. And we carried them out to where we knew faithful Jake would be waiting with a neutralized poison potion. And he was able to neutralize the poison. So now we're kind of plotting our re-entry to the mine and what our next steps are. As soon as we get out of earshot of Balak, the loudmouth jerk. That's one of the surveyors.
And George, just for your info, we didn't just completely make up that neutralized poison out of thin air just so we could save Rekmit's life. It actually was something that was found way back in session 3 or 4, one of those, and Leonise had it. And we decided on a probability that Leonise would have given it to one of the party before departing to go off on training. And Chris rolled a really good set of percentage dice and determined that Jake actually had been given the neutralized poison. So that's where it came from.
Are you sure that I didn't drink that one time I thought I was poisoned? But it was really just Rekmit's cooking? Not just...
I am not sure, but but I'm not going to go back and retcon anything, so we'll just leave it as is. Okay, so that's a pretty good overview. Anybody have anything to add, Matt?
One important detail left out of that, Jake, and all of the listeners at home, is that Trip, the gnome, after no one could figure out the riddle or open the door, even our dwarf, Trip said, "I am the Allfather," and then Rekmit repeated it in Dwarven, and it opened. So Trip actually got the phrase. Trip opened the door.
Duly noted. Trip, the wannabe dwarf. Not necessarily.
Rekmit was so astonished and aghast by that he accidentally threw caution to the wind and touched the. I think we figured out it was a violet.
Violet fungus.
Violet fungus.
So characters technically don't know what the heck it is other than it's me.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I figured it out with my nature knowledge.
Yeah, Trip figured out what exactly it was.
But I could not figure out how to neutralize the poison.
Neither could I.
I did.
Good thing you were there, Jake.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone came out of the mine. So now everyone is outside. And what are their names? Balak and
Rico.
Yeah, Balak and Rico. Balak and Rico they're down the road a little bit, taking some measurements and whatnot, because they are actually doing their survey. But when everyone brings Rekmit out and Jake has to administer a potion and there's a discussion, the two of them come back over and Balak has a look of disgust on his face. He doesn't say anything, though.
He's learning.
So what would you all like to do?
What time is it?
Yeah.
Well, if I recall, you went into the mines, I don't know, something like early, just before lunch, just before noontime or so. And you were only in there probably an hour or two, maybe. So it's probably 2 o'clock.
So I guess Trip will tell Balak, well, we found some disturbing things in the mine. It looks as if it is being used by some type of skeletal goblin creatures. They were in there mining, but we've cleared out the entrance. And we may be able to... may be able to camp inside for the night.
It's going to take extensive clearing. I think we'll have to be at it for maybe a week or so.
A
Could be a
week?
while.
I can't believe that you're going to take that long. It's not a very large mine. It was only operable for a short amount of time.
Feel free to go and investigate yourself.
Well, would you have any idea, Balak, why these skeletal creatures would be in there mining?
Well, of course I don't, but that's probably what forced them out the first time.
Well, we've cleared the survey rooms and the immediate entrance. Perhaps you would like to begin conducting your survey in there while we continue onward deeper into the mine.
Who is going to stay with us with a sufficient light source?
Well, there's offices. You could lock the door behind you. You'll be quite safe.
And who is going to hold
I got
a
a
light
torch
source?
here.
Oh,
There's sconces.
There's a supply room with plenty of lanterns. I think.
And it is
There's
your
definitely a
estimation
supply
that this
room.
is safe in here for us surveymen to come in? It's safe?
The entrance is definitely safe. We've cleared it out. I would not venture deeper, though, if you care for your health.
And what of all of these footprints going in and out?
Well, as we said before, the skeletal goblins are inside.
And what if some
Seems-
new ones come in and spy us doing our surveys in these rooms? How will anyone
allow
protect
the-
us?
Lock yourself in that office. It's a stout room.
What would your suggestion be? There were no footprints going to the office, so...
You all should stand guard while we're doing our survey.
As Rekmit shakingly takes his horse and slowly leads it inside the mine.
I'll give him a whistle and say, if there's any issue, just whistle.
And lock yourselves in the office.
I'm only offering up a temporary solution.
He is definitely not happy. And what of all of your horses and mules?
Oh, well, we're going to take
They'll be
those
safe enough.
well. You could watch them and guard them. And they
Well,
will guard
Balak,
you.
I may have a
water
solution.
them some while you're at it.
I may have a solution to this problem. I can cast a ward spell on the portal door, and then if anything crosses, it will sound an alarm to me. So you will be perfectly safe inside. If anything crosses the warding, then you just lock yourself in the office, and we will be there shortly. It will sound like this, and I'm going to begin chanting and cast ghost sounds and make an alarm sound right outside the doorway.
Like what kind of alarm?
Uh,
I just want to hear you make the sound.
Something like that.
I believe that's a mountain lion in heat.
Ooh.
It's pretty alarming.
So if anyone crosses, you'll be immediately notified and you can take cover in one of the rooms.
Very well. Fine. But if anything should happen to us, I am leaving a letter that should be given to the Baron. It will explain everything.
Of
Oh, good.
course.
I'll deliver that personally.
I want my whistle back then.
He gives it back to you. They start gathering up their equipment and walking a few feet into the mine.
I snatched it from his hand.
He gives you a particularly dirty look and then walks forward. Now what are you going to do?
Is Rekmit okay?
He's fine. Look at him.
The only one who doesn't real, or the only one who would think Rekmit isn't fine is probably Jake, because he would know him well enough to know he's basically shuffling along and pale.
He's good. Don't worry about him. He's got it.
Rekmit say, yeah, let's go. Let's get back to work. And bring the oil.
Not
So we're
sure
planning on exploring and then burning, or burning and then exploring?
Well, I
Because there's a
think
passageway leading down.
Yeah, we got to decide if we want to finish out clearing the mine, or
well, what we need to do is we're going to go back and start work on clearing out the mine.
My suggestion is we go light the purple velvet junk on fire, close the door behind it, and go clear out the rest of the mine while they're burning.
That's a good idea.
that's
What
a
could
good
go
plan.
wrong?
Because I mean, it's right inside the dwarven door. It's not too far.
We'll find out.
What are you doing with your horses and with the mule?
Is the mine big enough that we can tie him to where the empty mine carts are in that area right there?
That's
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
I just wanted to know what you're going to do with them, though.
Hook him up with give him some feed in one of the abandoned mine carts, and anybody create water?
I don't recall if I've done that today.
I could do that. Like, what is it? I don't know what the order is.
Did
I
a
could
day
do that.
pass after the last game?
I could do create water.
So, George, at the end of the session, not last session, but the session before, you had all taken a long, you had a nightly rest.
Okay.
And then when you got up the next morning, you went over to where you thought the road was, and you let the surveyors survey for a little bit, and then you walked back into the forest, and that's where Burt found or noticed the tracks, and then you followed the tracks into the mine.
Okay.
That was a day after you dove courageously into the goblin pit.
Exactly.
All right. So I used up my create water then.
But I can create water.
See?
Yes, and what did you use that create water on, if you want to remind everyone?
The annoying surveyor.
He dumped a bucket of water on the surveyor.
Very valid use for the Great Water spell, if you ask me.
Yeah.
One of the best I've ever seen.
I can create a bunch of water and put it in one of the carts, or if we think they're going to hold the water. A couple of gallons.
I mean, the carts aren't really airtight, so they might leak.
In that case, we won't do them there.
I mean, it also depends how long you're going to be in here. I mean, this whole morning, the horses have just been sort of just grazing, so.
Oh, we may be
So they're fine?
They're fine.
Okay.
All right. Well, they'll survive for a while.
I think we're going to head back into the mine.
Okay, so you're going to go up through here. So the other thing to talk about the mine was the fact that there's a vision issue, and I sort of ignored it at first, and then I didn't want to interrupt the game to talk about it because we were sort of already doing an exploration and all that. So just to remind everyone what the issue is, in terms of C&C, there's 4 kinds of vision. And unfortunately, gnomes and dwarves are the only 2 that actually have vision that allows them to see in the dark. Because elves and halflings have twilight and dusk vision, respectively. And twilight and dusk vision only works outside.
Okay.
So dwarves and gnomes can see underground in the dark, but halflings and elves and humans cannot.
Okay.
Put my hand on the back of Rekmit's arm and be like, "'Cause we're special."
Well, and here's the other thing that does is any time that the light conditions change, that is, anytime you go into an area that has light, it's going to take your eyes 1 minute to adjust. And anytime you take that light away and you're now in darkness, it's going to take your eyes 1 minute to adjust. So you're effectively unable to see in the dark for the first minute of darkness. And then if light shows up again when you previously were in darkness, it's going to take you 1 minute to adjust. So you're effectively blinded for that minute, right?
So lights out. Time to get the torches out, boys.
And then, yeah, but we can all see the better, right? We can see further. That's the advantage.
What do you mean?
So our vision is long further than torchlight.
Yeah, so deep vision is 120 feet and
Right.
dark vision is 60 feet. Torchlight's only, I think,
30
I have
feet,
it
I
right
think.
here. It's what, 40 or something? 30 or 40?
30, I think.
Yeah,
yeah,
torches 40. Torches 40 and a lantern is 30 unless it's a bullseye lantern. So that's a radius. So a torch is a 40-foot radius, right? Oh, no, sorry, that's a diameter. So a torch is a 20-foot radius. So wherever the torch is, you only see 20 feet around it. And a lantern is a 15-foot radius, but a bullseye lantern is much better, but it puts the light only in one direction.
It's like a 60-foot like cone or something straight ahead or
Yeah,
something
it's kind
like
of a
that.
straight line, which light doesn't really do that. It would diffuse out, but yeah.
So we head back towards the Dwarven doors.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, so who has
Ready
a
to
light
go, eh?
source and what kind?
I light a torch.
Okay. So Mahl has a light source.
The only thing Trip has are candles. So
So a
Once
candle.
Once we get to that door, Rekmit will light up a torch because he's planning on throwing it on top of some oil.
Candle.
yeah,
Candle has a 5-foot diameter. So.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on lighting up a candle.
Do we have other torches? Like, wasn't there a supply room where we could get torches, or is that just lanterns?
Did we bring torches or lanterns on our cart full of stuff?
I think we brought a fair amount of torches on the cart.
I'm pretty sure you brought like 40 torches or something.
Yeah, like loads.
Yeah, I mean, you're all going to need torches because the fact is the torches kill you guys dark vision. So once we light a torch, everybody's got to light torches. Or not everybody, but most of us.
So can we start lighting torches? Are there sconces in the wall? Can we start lighting up the mine?
There are sconces about every 30 feet. So there's a brief area of very, very dim darkness between them. But when you have them all lit, right? So in the opening portion, that's where that is. But in the actual mines where the carts are, there aren't a lot of sconces because that's all just rock wall where they're mining. So the only places where the sconces are abundant is in the initial opening area with all the offices and the living quarters and the offloading areas.
Okay.
So, so it's not true that you all have to have torches. What's true is if the dwarves don't and the gnome don't want to have torches, they have to remain 10 or 20 feet above or in front of everybody so that the light doesn't spoil their vision.
Right, so we need to be like 20 feet ahead.
Right.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll stay with the group.
I'll go up Grimbol. That way we can at least see if something up ahead. If you see things 120 feet up, and then we can worry about the minute.
Yeah, And so that's the thing is if they see something, then you have to have a minute to adjust. So that's the difficulty. That's the resource assessment portion of it, right? It's not so much that you can't have enough torches or whatever. It's more about, do you spoil your dark vision? And
Yeah.
you know. So okay, so what I'm hearing is everybody staying together. And so who all is carrying torches?
Jake,
Okay, Jake is carrying a torch. Who else? Jake and
Burt
Mahl.
can carry one, but it might get in the way if he tries to do something sneaky. I have to pass it off.
Mhm.
Well, they'll have an unlit one until we get to the Dwarven room and the purple junk.
Yeah, let's just. I mean, we can just use the 2. That should be good.
Yeah, two should be enough.
Okay. All right, so you're going to go to the Dwarven door right here?
Yeah.
All right, and you're going to go through it, is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we're going to look through the door to make sure there's none of that purple stuff already in the hallway or anything.
But you're gonna open the door, right?
Do we even close it, or does it close on its own?
It closes on its own after you go through it.
Oh, then yeah, I'll have to re-utter the words.
Say the phrase I told you.
You can try different phrases if you want too. Do you want to hear what was on the door again?
No, I'm going to say Hellfather. And that's all I'm going to say for now. In Dwarven.
Okay.
I think I wrote down what was on the door.
The door's open.
I try to memorize how he said Allfather in Dwarven. Make note of it.
Okay. So, Jake, you notice there's a bunch of etchings on the doors that are written. Do you speak Dwarven?
I do not.
Okay. So you recognize that the text is not in Vulgate, so it's not in Common, and it's not in any other language that you understand. But obviously, Rekmit knew what it said.
Okay.
So the door opens. Everyone's going through, I presume.
Well, we're going to look and see what we see through.
You see a long hallway. There's a tiny, tiny bit of purple stuff spilling out the door where you had, because remember that door was like stuck closed and you had to force it open, and it only opened a little bit. And Rekmit had tried to sort of reach in and scrape some of the purple fuzzy stuff off, and that's when he got thwacked by a tentacle.
Do not anyone touch it. Say squirt oil, fire it up, and let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah, no sense messing around with it.
There's lots of oil.
So
I suggest double up on it.
The what now?
Throw 2 of them in there. Punch a ton of oil in there.
Remember that what you saw on the walls was a bunch of frescoes showing dwarves actively doing things.
What are some of the frescoes? I mean, like anything in particular?
All you can tell from this vantage all they could see at that point was there's frescoes of the dwarves doing something, but because the door wasn't open very much, they didn't get a full view of those. But I'm just telling you because if you flame that entire room and you try to shut the door so that it all burns, you might ruin those frescoes.
Burn them.
So you don't want to come back with just a whole bunch of vinegar?
Burn them.
But it's a purple tentacle, right?
A little
Hey, man.
personal, aren't you?
It was a sort of fleshy fungal tentacle type
Mhm.
element.
But you said much of the purple stuff has disappeared at this point.
No, I didn't say that. What I said was, so when anybody who looked in the room, what they saw was the bottom of the room, the floor, was covered with piles of refuse, but it all had a fuzzy purple coating on it.
Oh,
And all I said was, when you look through the dwarven door, you'd see down the hall where the door leading into that room is. That door was still open a little bit because nobody closed it after the thing happened to Rekmit. And so
Okay, well,
there's a little bit of that purple fuzzy stuff on the ground outside the door.
that's not the door.
Rekmit's going to look back at Trip and go, do you want to know of a way to destroy it without burning them all? Your knowledge of Druidy junkies?
Well, even though the purple fungus is a living creature, all things must return to the earth from whence they came. I don't have any knowledge of how to kill it. I was only able to identify what it is.
I vote fire.
I mean, we could see what happens when we
Blasphemy upon the All-Father. Burn it.
well,
Yeah, burn it. We don't got vinegar, so let's burn it.
see what happens when you put a torch to this little pile by the door.
Rekmit does not get close enough to try that. That's somebody else. Rekmit's standing back ready to light up a torch and throw it.
If no one else is going to do it, then I'll come forward with a flask of oil and squirt a little right there at the door and then a trail out and then throw it hard enough out there to break so that the little trail I did connects with it. Once I feel like I've got that done, I'll light the little trail.
Okay. The fire catches and the top of the oil's burning. You see a little bluish, reddish flame, and it starts moving down the line of oil, and it gets to the area where the purpley fuzzy stuff is on the floor, and that stuff also catches and looks like it's dying back a little bit.
Are there any squeals of pain?
No. I mean,
Very satisfying if it felt pain.
well, you don't know that it doesn't, but it doesn't have a voice box, so that you
Rekmit's
know.
out for revenge.
He's wanting it to suffer the way he did.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks to be burning. The question is, are you going to try to shut that door, or are you just going to turn around and leave?
I think we should shut the door if we can. I don't know how, but
It's going to take at least a couple people to pull it shut because it was swollen shut and they popped it open. So to get it to come back into the size of the door frame, it's going to take at least 2 people.
I would suggest we don't go near the door. Too chancy.
Yeah.
Should we throw another oil in there?
To see how well it burns at this bit. See if it kind of moves through.
I mean, it's burning, but it's slow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We're getting paid by today.
You want to throw another oil on it?
Yeah, we can throw maybe like a couple flasks in it, spread it up.
Rekmit wants to throw as many oils as you have.
Rekmit's like, fire!
So who's going to walk up to the door and throw it in the door then?
Burt will, but not too close. Like as far back as he thinks he can reasonably chuck it in.
Okay, you want to give me a dexterity siege check?
Let's save it. I have a better save against poison.
16 in its prime.
Okay, so Burt sort of tiptoes up, takes out a flask, tosses it, It hits the door jamb, bounces to hit the door, and then bounces into the room, and you hear the flask burst. And you see the flames, the reflection of the flames, the flickering gets larger inside the room.
Yeah, see, just as I planned. Just doing it stylishly.
Check out the rest of the mine.
Burn. Let's go open that door.
Burning it.
So, Samuel, since the door closes behind us when we exit, does it close behind us when we're in the hallway?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just like last time, if you just go push on it, it opens easily from this side. So you can easily have an egress out of that hallway back into the mine proper.
Let that burn and go and explore the rest.
Yep, I think that's fine.
You guys don't want to check out that other door?
No, not yet.
Plan. Let's just stick with it.
Okay, so everybody is going to continue up this mine then? Is that what I'm understanding?
I think so. Let's go explore the rest of the mine.
So I believe that in the last session, Grimbol went as far up as this spot up here, right? Up here.
Somewhere around. About there, yeah, because I think that's just where it turns to the north, right?
Okay. So now we need to go to a different map.
Didn't go too much down to the west.
I need to upload a different page here. Hold on one second.
Initiative is back up to Richard, George, and then Robert.
Okay, so here we are. You're going to have to grab your tokens and put them on. You are entering. Let me show you where you're entering here. You're entering down here. Whoops. Turn that off. Excuse me. You're entering down here. So. And as you're there, this bind track is there, but it gets a lot more narrow as it comes through here.
But the track is still going, right?
The track is still going. So I'm just going to draw a line for the track. I'm just going to draw it in purple, just so that you could see the track is still going, rather than draw out a hole.
Fair enough.
So that's your current issue right now. You can't really
Okay.
see all that far because, of course, each of these squares is 5 feet, and your vision only affords you a 20-foot diameter around your torches. So you can
Mhm.
basically, or a 20-foot radius around your torches, so you can see 20 feet in front of you.
Is there any sound of mining or anything on the ceilings?
There is sound of mining, actually. It looks like it's coming from the northern, where the track is leading
Mhm.
to the north. Sounds pretty
Mhm.
far away, though.
Well, Grimbol is going to maybe be 20 foot in front of the party, 15, 20 foot,
Okay.
so you can see. And he'll just keep that kind of distance in front,
Okay.
Um,
so you can see a little further.
Jake would like to follow up behind.
Say that again.
Jake would like to follow up behind, 20 feet away from him.
So in other words, Jake's going first after Grimbol.
Yes.
Okay.
Burt can go somewhere near the back because he's got the other torch, so we'll spread it out.
Okay. So Grimbol, when you get to this portion here, this hallway here to the right side,
Yeah.
It looks very much like the other mined little alcoves down in the southern portion, and the what's clear here is there are a bunch of picks and whatnot on the floor, along with a bunch of those greenish gems again that you had seen. You know, that the malachite, I can show it here.
Yeah.
This sort of, it's called velvet malachite.
Grimbol kind of closes his eyes, turns around, and says, "More malachite. Collect it." Did we decide? Did we have to decide whether it was ours or whether we just had a portion?
It's
I know
ours.
we decided it was ours, right?
It's not ours. We must return it to the Baron.
Absolutely. Hey, these gems, they're nothing like we saw in the first adventure in the Temple of Narrheit, are they?
What you saw in the first adventure were polished malachite gems. They looked like greenish stones that have some crystalline portions in them and some veins in them. This, what you see here, is raw malachite. It hasn't been polished or worked in any fashion. It's being mined like ore.
Okay.
So it's basically just unfinished, right? It's the raw form of, it's kind of like if you pull a geode out and it has all this sort of crystalline gem-like stuff in it, and you don't polish that up, it just looks like a piece of rock with some gems in it. But you could actually polish that, cut it down into various facets, and form it into, jewelry and all that stuff. So I don't know if you saw, George, I posted last time in Discord, I posted a picture of the raw malachite. I can do it again here.
That's right. I can scroll up.
So far, this is the only thing that you've seen being pulled out of this, and apparently it's pretty abundant because there's a lot of it, and so they're basically every little alcove, every little mined area of this has several large pieces of this. I mean, when I say large, I mean like fist-sized or slightly larger than fist-sized for a human. Those are pretty large chunks, but nothing super duper enormous because, of course, they're mining them with small pickaxes. So they're mining chunks out of these veins of malachite.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, can we see like actual veins of malachite there, and they're just like picking chunks out of it?
You could see where the vein is and where they're picking things out, and just there's just these little piles where they would have been standing.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right. Well, maybe we can collect them on the way out. All right. I'll kind of move up. I'm assuming the one to the left is similar.
Very, very much similar, yes. Almost exactly the same, except it's slightly larger, so there's a few more piles.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we'll kind of head north. How's the sound of the mining becoming as I head north?
It feels like it's getting closer.
Can I have... I'm trying to think of the loudness compared to what I heard before. Does it seem louder? The number, sorry, not loudness, but the number of people?
It sounds like just a couple.
Okay.
We hear the sound of picks, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it in unison, like a constant, repetitive picks going?
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty consistent, it's a pretty consistent set of picks.
Okay. And what are the tracks that we're following, by the way?
They're mining cart tracks.
Okay. Oh, actual tracks. Got it. Hey, we didn't even have to make a check on these tracks. All right, great.
So, Grimbol, as you come forward, what you see is that the passageway it narrows down to about, in some places, about 8 feet. You feel like a cart could barely get through there, and then it opens up a little bit, and then it actually ends, and there is a huge crevasse here and a bridge, a sort of rickety wooden bridge that is here, that is allowing for the cart. Here's the bridge across, and it's just wide enough for the tracks to fit. And on the other side is this area here is sort of a platform here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the tracks move on up here. And this all down here is a huge, it's dark down there. It's a huge bottomless area.
Oh, so I can't even see down the bottom?
Correct.
Right.
But so now I need a sort of stealth check from you, some sort of a dexterity check to try to stay quiet if you are.
Sorry.
We don't really have stealth in this game, but we do have a hide check.
Well, no. I guess that is a 17 non-prime.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
As you are standing there and you're looking, 4 arrows shoot out from the other side, and one of them is going to hit you.
Do I see anything as I looking across?
As the arrow hits you, it takes your attention and focuses it over here, and you see that there are actually 2 skeletons over here. And you can see that there are a couple of gaps in the wall here, and they look big enough for some arrows to have gone through. So you can see those 2 skeletons there, and the other 2 that are behind the wall. You're assuming they're there because you know that 4 arrows shot at you. One of them shot and did 5 damage.
Oh. Suddenly, as he's looking out across the bridge, you see Grimbol fall.
Jake, you see Grimbol fall down.
I keep my torch in hand, and I get behind my shield, and I kind of crouch down and try to move up to him.
As you're getting closer to him, you see an arrow sticking out of his shoulder.
No good, no good. Do you want to start getting into initiative, or?
It depends. What are you going to do?
I'm going to actually try to pull him back.
Okay. Give me a dexterity siege check.
Man. I am prime, and I rolled a 2.
Okay.
You have prime as well at that point.
Trying so hard to hold on that
What's
shield.
your
Couldn't
AC?
get hold of it.
Does a 17 beat your AC, Jake?
Yes, it does.
Okay. An arrow also hits you, does 4 damage. But if you give me a strength siege check, you might be able to pull Grimbol out of range.
Oh, yeah. Easily with a 21 prime.
Okay, so yeah, you take you also take a arrow to the shoulder, but you pull him back. So the rest of you see Jake walk forward, lean down, try to hold his shield up, try to get in position to be able to pull Grimbol out, and gets hit with an arrow as he's pulling Grimbol back.
And I apologize. What was the damage on that arrow?
4.
Okay, thank you. Okay, drag him back.
Okay, what's everybody doing?
Well, I will go up with them. See if it's anything I can do to help. Grimbol looks out.
I mean, you can either heal him or bandage him. Or you can ignore him and ask Jake what's going on up there. So Grimbol's not up there anymore, right? Jake pulled him back.
Yeah, Grimbol got pulled back.
20 feet, right?
Yeah, got pulled back.
Have the other skeletons stopped picking? Or, I guess we wouldn't be able to tell from this part of the corridor.
You don't hear the mining anymore.
Alright, Bert's gonna go ahead and put a
Perhaps we
bandage
should
on
duck
Grimbol.
in. Perhaps we should duck in one of these side rooms and set up an ambush.
Sorry, what's Burt doing?
I'll just start doing the bandage with the salve on Grimbol.
Okay. You want to roll me a D2?
Only 1 point back.
Okay.
Grimbol, does that... I don't know how many hit points you have.
That takes me down to -1.
Okay. So he's still knocked out.
I'm still not bad.
Do you have a healing potion left on you, Grimbol?
Grimbol does
I
actually
think we used 1.
I can give a quick heal to him.
That works.
4, 6.
Oh, that's more than enough to get me back. So as Grimbol comes round and he goes, "I'm going to stop doing this." I have a healing potion here, and he kind of points into his one of his little side pockets on his backpack.
I look at him and I'm like, "What were you thinking, man?"
Well, they were hidden.
Grimble stands up, Grimble falls down. Grimble stands up, Grimble falls down.
It's like a Weeble.
I give him the mini lecture about, use a shield, wear armor.
Armor.
Overrated.
Rekmit grumbles in the back. Finally, he's lecturing somebody else.
Yes.
Grimbol goes, I don't need a shield, and he pulls out his great scimitar. I have this.
Well,
So, yeah.
Grimbol, if you're going to rush in there, whoever's going to rush in there, let me put a little rune on you so you don't go immediately back down again.
Okay.
Get bruises on your forehead from falling down.
His nose got squished. Right.
So what's their plan? How many are there?
4 arrows, came at least from memory. And they were over to the right on the ledge. Looks like maybe some defensive wall.
I look at Trip and I'm like, can't you transform into a bird and fly over there?
Not quite yet, but I might have another idea in mind.
Change
If I
into something.
Now you want that mine cart.
Yeah, you can push one down and I'll huddle in it when the arrow bounce off.
Trip is going to advance forward, keeping his back against the eastern wall, as flat as he can against the eastern wall. Up until a point, I'm going to be moving very slowly, and up until a point where I can eventually see kind of the ledge to the east.
So are you going to go outside of their light?
If we need to back up, we can back up. Give you
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, I don't think the light's going to matter because they
matters
shot
to your
Grimbol
vision.
anyway.
But it matters to your vision.
Oh, I see
Your
what you're
vision will be
saying.
gone for a minute, just like
If-
Grimbol.
I mean, I'm already. He's already outside mine. I don't know who else has one where they're at.
Burt has a light.
I also have a torch, yep.
I'm just saying you'll have to wait for a minute there. So if you walk away and they're expecting you to come right back.
Yeah, I got you. I understand. Yeah, back up for a moment, and I'll see what I can see.
And Trip disappears again.
Yeah.
There's some themes going on here.
Duck into one of the side rooms, and if you hear me running backwards, yelling and screaming, they're right behind me.
So Trip, go ahead and give me a dexterity siege check.
Let's see. There's a 14 on the dice. That's going to be a 15 secondary.
Okay, so you creep up to the ledge. You see the sort of rickety bridge across, and you peek kind of around the corner as you're trying to stay as close up to the wall as possible.
Trip, did you put your level on that row?
I did not. Gosh dang it. Thank you. 16 total. Secondary.
You kind of lean around and you see 2 skeletons on a wide ledge about, they're sort of at the edge of how far you can see there, but they look like they're up against a wall, but they've got bows that are sort of pointing at the passageway.
The 2 that are not hidden by the wall, correct?
Correct. Yeah, you can't see the other 2.
Okay. So they're going to stay over there and try to pick us off. So
And it's just a little bit too far for everything I got.
yeah, this is an interesting predicament. I would like to I'm gonna head back. I'm gonna creep back against the wall
Okay.
and inform the party that there are 2 skeletons approximately 40 feet across the cavern. The only way across is the bridge, and they have bows trained on the entrance that we would come out of.
And I'm sorry. Are they in the open? You said, my friend.
Yes, 2 of them are standing out in the open. I only saw 2, though.
And is it lit up over there, or?
Nope.
It's completely dark.
Well, if we hurl the torch over there, would that mess with their eyes as much as it messes with your guys' eyes?
They're skeletons.
I-
They don't have eyes.
I don't think they care one way or the other.
Okay.
If I do have a plan. If I can creep back to the ledge unseen, I might be able to cast some lights directly into their face, giving us enough time to rush over. But it will be tricky.
So what do you
Grimbol,
think?
you
It's a
say
better plan,
4 arrows. You say 4 arrows struck you. They both from the same 2 skeletons.
We didn't hear what you said, Chris. Yeah, nope, no audio.
No,
Yeah, something like that.
we've lost you.
We can see you talking, but we can't hear you.
He passed out again.
Speak to us, Grumble. Speak to us.
Grimbal's back down.
He'll pop back in a second. There he goes.
Okay, how's that?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry. Yeah, it's like, you know what, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 4 skeletons over there.
I could only see 2. Do you know where the other 2 were?
I think they've been in the wall. There's like a wall defense there. I seem to remember some splits.
Okay. Well, get ready to charge. Get against the east wall and get ready to charge as soon as my spell goes off. We'll only have a moment where they might be temporarily blinded.
Okay, well, what's going to happen here is I think Jake's going to rush up there, and before he does, if that's what he's doing, I'm going to put a rune of shielding upon him.
Yeah. I kind of excel at this undead stuff. Usually.
What's your range on affecting creatures?
It's 60 feet, I think.
60 feet, yeah.
Why don't you go try that?
Yeah, I like that idea, see?
Because if you can't, I will try.
We're gonna need light for Jake to be able to see, though, aren't we?
Hand him a torch.
When you turn, do you have to see the creatures? I think you do, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
However, if anyone else can see them, and
So that's why I'm thinking I should know where they are. I like the idea. I reckon the same thing.
Well, the light's gonna pop up as soon as I cast my spell, so I'm planning on casting dancing lights immediately in front of the skeleton's face that I can see. Now, this won't blind them, but it should temporarily make them unable to see us through a bright flash of light. That'll light up where they are, but only give us a couple minutes to get across.
Now, how good is the bridge?
We don't know that.
Okay, so nobody's got a good enough look at it to even give an opinion.
so
Right. All you know is that the tracks go across the bridge, so you presume that at least at one time it was sturdy enough to handle a full mining cart.
Okay.
So here's the part. Trip, if you cast the dancing lights, right? You get to create a few of those, or
I can
It's
create up to 4.
right. So you can like kind of have that lighting up that area over there, and then I can see them to turn them.
Yep.
So
I could just go up. I could just go up there and see them without any lights and try and turn them.
but I need the light to see them.
Yeah, but I can do it without some dwarf.
I thought Twilight Vision didn't work underground. Are you a dwarf?
He's a dwarf. Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Oh, okay. We can do that then too. Go see if
yeah.
you
I'm
can
used
turn
to
them.
you.
And if that
Used to you
fails,
being an elf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Leonese is training. He's Grimbol right now. Grimbol's a warrior priest.
Got it.
Rekmit to go, whichever one of you is going to go, just let me know so I can put the rune on you before you go so Grimbol don't fall down.
All right, so let everybody just back up, and then we'll keep it completely dark, and then Grimbol can go up there.
and he'll do the same thing and sneak up the eastern side. So he's got shielding.
Basically, I'll have to go up there with you, put the rune on you, and then you can go after the minute. Or, when the minute's
Okay.
up, you can see. I'll put the rune on you, and I'll back up, and you can go do what you want.
Okay.
Okay, and what's the rune do? It absorbs how many points of damage?
12.
Per round.
Shit. I don't think we agreed on that. I think it's 12
Yeah.
total.
We
It
kind
stays
of
up for
left it
2 rounds.
open because it only lasts for how many rounds?
2.
2 rounds anyway. Yeah. So, so Grimbol, give me a dexterity siege check to try to be.
Oh, another 17 non-prime.
Okay.
But he is actually kind of hugging the wall now. He knows it.
So you get up there and you're kind of doing what Trip did. You're kind of peeking around so you can make sure you see them.
Exactly.
And then Rekmit puts the rune on you. Rekmit, do you back up after you put the rune on?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I need to let everyone get by.
Grimbol, do you want to give me your turn check, which is a wisdom siege check?
Wisdom. I don't get any bonus, but let's see. Use the 14. That's close. 13 prime.
Okay. And give me a D12 roll.
Oh,
That tells me how many you've turned.
10.
Okay. So when you turn, when you turn, do you say something? How are you turning? What do you actually do?
I am just holding on to my holy symbol's a bit of a fancy word, but it's essentially a holy symbol. And I am muttering something in Dwarven to the All Fathers as I peer at the whatever it is I'm turning.
Rekmit, he's talking to you.
Of course. Why didn't we send Rekmit up there?
So you don't yell out, Grimbol. You just sort of utter it and hope that the energy goes out and affects
this
them.
is much more subtle than holding out the symbol and screaming something at them.
Okay. You see that these two that are here immediately start running away. They run down the hall.
Do I hear any other sounds?
You hear the faint sound of picks working again.
Interesting. Okay, I will move on forward. Actually, I am not going to blindly go across the bridge. But I will move out towards the bridge and see what I can tell from it. Is it wooden bridge, you said?
Yeah, it's made of wood. It's almost like a wooden rope bridge, but it has it's got some sort of supports under it, at least for the first few boards,
Yeah.
because it has to be able to withstand the weight of the carts.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I'll stand there and motion to the others that I think it's clear.
Okay, you get the all clear motion from Grimbol. What's everyone doing?
I can't see him.
True.
Yeah, none of us can see them.
Yeah,
This is a fair point.
that is
Good point.
true.
Should have been your whistle.
I'm holding yeah, see? I'm holding a torch.
After waiting for a moment and it's like nothing's happening, Grimbol goes, "It's clear! They've gone."
Let's go.
All right, up we go.
One at a time.
After that shout, you stop hearing the picking noise.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't a loud sound, it was it wasn't a sound burst.
All right, so you're now all standing in front of a bridge made of wooden slats with a rail car track across it.
Okay. Cross one at a time.
Somebody light could maybe go across and test it carefully.
I can definitely go across
Alright,
first. Do you
I'll
want
go.
to tie a rope or that works?
Yeah.
Or Burt. Yeah, tie a rope around Burt.
Sounds good.
What's on the other side of it? Who's tied fast to Burt?
Burt's tied fast to all of us. We're holding the rope.
Okay.
All right, with the rope secure, I'll go ahead and scamper across here.
So you're going as fast as you can, or you're taking
Oh,
cautious
no.
steps?
Taking caution, going carefully, yeah. Scamper maybe wasn't the right word, but I was close, so yeah.
Okay.
No, take your cue from Rekmit. Just rush in there.
Just go right full tilt.
How much does Burt weigh?
76 pounds.
Okay. You go across pretty easily. I mean, it's a sort of, it's not as, you can imagine if you were walking across a crevasse on a rope bridge, it might sway a little bit. But the thing is that this one has the cart rails on it, so it's feels a little more stable. It doesn't sway as much because those cart rails are long pieces of iron that have been formed to hold the cart in place. So you get across pretty quickly, pretty easily with no problem.
All right, I'm going to look. Is there somewhere I can hold the rope off? Like a rock or a stalagmite or something?
Not really.
Alright, I guess I'll just hold on to it and motion for whoever's next to come over. Just let them know it's pretty easy to get across.
Trip is the probably the next lightest, so I will head across to hold the rope from the other side with him.
Okay. How much does Trip weigh?
78 pounds.
Fatty.
Is that extra turkey leg back at in Delafin?
Okay.
Do I make it across?
Yep. You have the same sort of experience that Burt did. It's pretty stable. It feels pretty rigid because of the rails for the car.
I will get behind Burt and hold on to the rope, but keeping it. I'm listening to the corridor behind us and glancing over my shoulder every once in a while.
Okay. You hear pickaxe sounds again. Who's going next?
Burt is go ahead and untie himself from the rope, so Trip has something to hold on to. But yeah, we'll just be holding on to it.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Maul, what kind of armor are you wearing?
Well, Grimbol's got Fame, but he weighs 163 pounds.
Burt, do you have any pythons on you?
That's a good question. I do not, but I wish I did.
All right, I don't either.
All right.
Whoever's coming next, come with a python.
Yeah.
Grimbol goes, I have some to hand over, whoever goes next.
All right. What brave soul is going to go across next?
Who's the next latest?
Bert's gonna call out. Come on, Slowpoke, still point to Maul and say, "Yeah, you come next."
So somebody's got to do it.
Sure. I mean, I can wait to go last.
So the rope is being held on both ends, so you can.
Be pretty safe.
Okay, I'll go across.
Anyone know where the weights are for the different races?
I think it's under the
125
class.
Yeah. In the player's guide to Aihrde, there's a wait list.
That's
Yep.
right. So okay, I'll find it there.
So for a dwarf, height range is 3'10" to 5'2". You're slightly taller than that, Rekmit. Your weight range is 140 to 180. I would say since you're slightly taller, you're probably on the higher end of that rather than the lower end.
But he's skinny because he's not strong.
You wanted
That's
to be
true.
the tall dwarf.
But your minimum is 140, so
I know. I was trying to base it off what Grimbol was. What did you say you were, Grimbol?
Grimbol was 163.
Okay, because I was thinking 150, but I'll do whatever Sam
no,
prefers.
whatever you think. That's fine. You're right. You
figured he
did
was-
say he's skinny. You're not muscular, so your muscle weight is lower.
How tall are you?
Rekmit's pretty tall.
I was going to wait till something bigger was over there to hold the rope.
I've got you, Rekmit. Come across.
Fine.
How much
Rekmit
does
will
how
just-
much does Maul weigh?
125.
With his little gnome hands.
Maul, you have much the same experience as Trip and Burt, except you get across with fewer steps because you're taller.
Yep.
But it does feel more stable than maybe it looks. Who's next?
I'll go, and I essentially wrap the rope around me so I can kind of shimmy across with it and open it and close it. Rekmit will make his way across.
How much does Rekmit weigh?
150 pounds.
Okay, Rekmit makes it across.
Who's left?
Ta-da! See, no problems.
Jake and
Jake
Grimbol.
and Grimbol.
Okay, so Grimbol held this end. Actually, Grimbol won. Grimbol just spiked this end. I don't even know why he's holding it. Oh, no, he can hold it. He can hold it. He's strong. He'll hold it.
I thought Grimbol was across already.
No, Grimbol's still here.
Nope, just you on the other side now.
All right. I'm sure with my gear, I weigh more. Are we going by our gear or the weight of our character?
I'm just doing a basic weight for your gear, so just tell me how much your character weighs.
I would say my character probably weighs 180 pounds.
Okay.
And I probably, in all honesty, have maybe 30 pounds of gear on my backpack and all with weapons. And my ring mail is 20 pounds. So that'd be 230 pounds total.
So go ahead and go across.
So we still have the rope here, right? And is it tied off or anything?
Grimbol has hold of this end. And they have
Grimbol
hold.
has one end and the others have the other end.
All right. So I'll take off my pack and ask Grimbol to tie it fast to the end of the rope, and then I'll go across.
Okay.
Okay.
So
you get across. You are not quite as happy about the state of the bridge as everyone else was, because as you were walking across, you felt like the wooden slats of the bridge were weak and some of them are probably rotting away. Even though the steel beams of the track seems okay and makes it more rigid, the bridge itself doesn't feel as sturdy as what everybody else was telling you.
okay.
But
I
you make
mentioned
it across with no problem.
Grimbol actually is going to, just to be on the safe side, will tie the rope to himself and leave a long tail and tie it to take the backpack.
Okay.
Purely. And then we'll work his way dragging the backpack behind him.
So you're tying the tail of the rope to the backpack, or you're holding the backpack?
No, I'll tie it to the tail so that we're a little more distributed, just in case.
Okay. And how much does Grimbol weigh? 163?
163, 165, 163.
Okay. Grimbol has much the same experience as Jake had, that the bridge feels a little bit more tenuous. The wooden slats feel a little more rotten and old, and as if they could just fall away at any moment. However, it holds, and so you make it across.
Okay.
And now that you're across, what are you all doing?
Rip is going to go inspect where the skeletons were, because Grimbol said he thought he saw some crevices. So again, I'm going to be flat against the wall, seeing if there's any crevices, and then peeking into them, if there are.
There are a couple of crevices. They are they're more like slits, though. They're more like they're created slits rather than actual just crevices in the stone.
Waiting a minute and looking inside the slit, can I see anything in there?
Not really.
Okay. It appears to be clear.
All right, onwards. Who's leading?
Well, I think my runes has gone by now.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we would have taken, you would have gone before you even headed across. Before we
Right.
headed across, you only get 2 rounds, so
Right.
yeah, you're not super Grimbol anymore. Remember that.
Super Grimbol, they're charging in.
Remember, you're face down, Grimbol.
Okay, so which way are we going?
I can hear mining coming from the north.
Yeah, I think we're.
Yeah,
Well,
there's really only one way to go.
I was gonna say.
Right.
yeah.
Oh, I couldn't tell by the line. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. That's why I put those sideways lines into the map, because that's wall.
Okay.
Okay, so the track keeps going, and it comes up here, and it goes off. Well, so first, are you all going together with Light, or are you having Grimbol go forward again?
Grimbol, do you want to go forward again?
Grimbol will, but cautiously. There's some, they were turned.
How long do they stay turned?
That could be an important question.
That's a really good question. I don't remember how long they take turns.
It does. It's hidden.
Quite a while.
It's like in the
Yeah.
first paragraph or so.
Right. Grimbol will go forward cautiously. He'll keep to the eastern wall and peer as he gets to the curve.
Okay, so you're going to move up and wait for a minute.
A few seconds, maybe 30 seconds, if he hears anything.
Well,
I'm going to wait for
you
him
have to
to
wait
get
for
rid of
your
my
eyes to
my eyesight.
for your
Yeah,
eyes to
absolutely.
adjust. Okay. Once your eyes adjust, what you see is that the cart track leads off to the northwest, off to the right. And then up to the left, there is an opening. Looks like a passageway. And that's where you hear the majority of the mining.
And some sense of how many pits are there?
It just sounds like one.
Okay. Any signs of my turned skeleton?
No.
Right. I'll progress a little further cautiously.
Did you figure out how long it lasts, by the way?
10 rounds.
10 rounds.
10 rounds.
10
Oh,
or 10.
So a minute.
oh, 10 minutes. Is it?
Well, combat round is 6 seconds, right? Or 10 seconds.
Right.
So
10 seconds.
100
Cool.
seconds. So a minute and a half.
Oh, okay, so we're well past that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grimbol, you do notice that there seems to be some weird flickering light in this room up to the left, but it has a greenish hue. And it's very dim.
Does the green hue kind of match the stone?
Say that again.
Does the green hue match the stone color? Is it
Yes.
similar? Okay.
Are we still doing the 20 feet behind it?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm keeping just ahead of them. I'm assuming they're following me.
I got orientation now.
Yeah, so the question is actually, do you what do you do before they catch up to you?
I'm just going to keep on moving along this wall, looking, and now I'm looking into this room to see what I see in this room to the west.
Okay, so what you see in this room, it's very similar to what you saw in the other mining areas. There's little piles of gems all on the ground here. You can see from where you are. The greenish color is coming more from this area, but you can't see it because the wall here blocks your sight.
Okay. Now, just so I know, the skeletons that I turned, looked like a couple of them kind of went down the way we're going, and then probably heard the other ones coming the other way, right? So,
Yeah, so as far as you know, the two that you saw kind of went down this pathway that you're on right now.
yeah.
As far as
I am. You know what? I'm going to head back. Do I see the end of the track at this point?
from where you are, let's see. You probably see like to here.
Okay.
And you can't tell if it's ending or not.
Okay. I'm going to move maybe another 10, 15 feet up.
Okay. So you see that this ends.
Mm-hmm.
Also, as you're moving past here, you see that there is, a skeleton. A skeleton here.
Do I see anything down the end of the passageway?
You see the end of the passageway. You don't see any skeletons down here. All you see is that this comes to a dead end, and you see that the track ends and has a little switch where you can, turn it around or.
Yeah, like a turntable or something, or whatever. Okay.
It just lets you pivot the cart, so if you need to turn it around, because the carts have brakes on them, so it matters which wheels are in front.
Right. Alright, if I don't see any skeletons up, I'm going to carry on moving up. I'll move up another 15, 20 feet.
Okay. So you see an opening right here. It's a very small opening.
Do I see the others behind me at this point? I'm going to turn around and see if everybody's following me.
Well, so that's a question, because if they follow you up this far, there's going to be light, and you know now that there's a skeleton right here.
That's why I was wondering if
And that skeleton will probably notice the light that they're carrying.
I think we probably would have stopped when we saw this opening. I don't know about anyone else, but I know I wouldn't have been wanting to keep going. So what does everyone else think? Would we have kept going, or would we have stopped at that opening?
I mean, hearing the sound of the pick this close, we know something's over there. So I probably would have stopped until Grimbol came back with his assessment.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because now Grimbol knows there's the end of the tunnel and there's an opening, he will come back. And he'll wander back. That's what I wanted to check, what you guys have decided to do. Alright, so Grimbol will explain, okay, the tunnel ends up there, and there looks to be an opening off to the right. Little opening. And in that room there is a skeleton and some green glow. Could they see the green glow anyway at this point?
They
kind
can.
of in that opening. Yeah.
Should we?
I see the skeleton by the green glow.
They cannot see the skeleton.
Nobody. I'll let them know that the skeleton's by the green glow, picking away at the wall.
Did you happen to notice if it had a bow?
It had a pick.
Was the mist that we went through that one time that led us into like a different area? Was that mist or was that green also? Do you remember, Rekmit?
It was.
It was green, I believe.
Yes, it was.
Should we take our 5-minute break and think about it?
I'll do the 5-minute break.
Yeah, we bet.
Yeah, we can take a 5-minute break and do that.
I could do it.
All right, so let me go to the break screen. We will be back in just a moment. All right, and we're back for part 2 of tonight's session number 17 of Pools of Narrheit. And right now, the intrepid heroes are standing outside of a passageway in the mine of the Kraystock family, and there is a eerie green light coming out of the passageway, out of the room beyond the passageway, and one of them, Grimbol, knows that there is at least one skeleton in there. What is everyone doing? Wait, we lost somebody. We lost Matt.
I'll be back, you mentioned.
Oh, I'm back. I'm just eating a bowl of soup real quick.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I was gonna say we pushed the gnome into the room.
I didn't want to be rude.
Rekmit bravely hides behind everyone else.
So, Trip, I guess, being the smallest and maybe less likely to be seen, will get his dark vision going, ask everybody to step back or try to get 20 feet away, and then wait, and then inch by inch peek over the left side. Just inch by inch, Samuel. Like, inch by inch.
Does the deep vision come back into play with the green glow that's coming out of there? Or does that provide enough
That's a good
light?
question.
It's pretty dim,
Okay.
so the light is still dark enough that you wouldn't, it's low enough that you wouldn't really see much.
So I'm completely hugging the wall,
Okay.
trying to get as small as possible.
So you want to give me a dexterity siege check for your hide?
Actually, don't we have a thief for this? What am I doing?
I don't know. You're the one that walked up there.
Yeah, Thief doesn't have dark
That's
vision.
awesome.
There are 2 thieves in your party right now, and you're still going
That's true.
forward with this.
Neither of them have dark vision.
That is going to be a 10 total, and I remembered to add my level 10 secondary.
What's your AC?
AC is 14.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm in cover.
So as you're standing there, an arrow is shot by the skeleton as you're peeking around, and it flies by your head and scratches your forehead. That's how close it was.
I immediately duck back, crouch back. They're ready for us.
And now you're blind for a minute.
A couple more arrows fly out into the passageway here as you're standing.
So none of us can see him, actually.
And see who.
Yeah, we're all around the corner.
Trip.
We're all together now.
I just
He came
returned.
back to you. Yeah.
Oh.
He came back to you.
As soon as one,
He's got a big scratch on his forehead.
yeah, as soon as one arrow shot, I came back and said they're ready for us.
But the rest of you hear the clanging of 2 or 3 more arrows hit the walls.
So I think what might be a good plan is if we have someone, maybe one of the fastest thieves, just run straight across, kind of like a Jake move. I'll call it the Jake maneuver, and try to draw fire as they run to this far side, this north side wall. And then we can all come in there and kind of burst in after they fire arrows. What do you guys think about that?
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I think we should either
Jake-
call it pulling a Jake or pulling a Durendale.
Jake maneuver.
And I flat out tell him, that is the dumbest idea ever.
So before we do that, Grimbol goes up. Before we do any of that, Grimbol is going to move, because I can move up, head across, and come in and be on the other side of the opening with my crossbow, and look down and see what I can see. Because so far we haven't really looked from the right-hand side of the opening into there.
Yeah, but as soon as you get within vision, aren't you going to get hit?
I was going to say, they're going to shoot you with your cross, aren't they?
They didn't last time.
But they
Right.
Yeah, but they're aware now.
they're aware
Yeah,
now.
they didn't.
I could run with my little dwarven leg.
Grimble,
Just
don't do it.
Sprint across that opening.
Don't do it, Grimble.
Okay.
Alright, have them all run out and we'll all run in.
Or maybe if we ran up that way, they would follow us up there.
So now that everyone's aware, let's roll initiative.
The only thing is they didn't follow us across the bridge. They just waited. Richard, you got initiative.
Oh, that's a technical problem. I've lost my
Got a 7.
I rolled a 6, which means even though they're aware, you all get to go first. You don't really know what all's in there. All you know is there's at least one skeleton.
Okay.
Quick question. What did we rule about light? I can put it on an object and throw it, or was it going to be on... I can't remember. I know we had a discussion.
Does it have a distance, right? Let's find out.
Yeah, but can I cast, for example, can I pick up
It
a
has
stone,
a
cast light?
range, like 60 feet or something.
Yeah, so
I mean, whatever it is, it makes an object like a torch, but can I put it on a stone and then throw the stone?
Yeah, you should be able to. Or I've never played where you couldn't.
yeah, so
What do
you
you-
can either put it on a stone and throw it, and then in that case, it's limited to your throwing distance, right?
Right.
Or you could just cast it on an object within 150 feet of you that you can see.
Oh, it's 100. I think it's 60 feet. Okay,
Yeah, it's
150 feet. Oh, okay.
Well, once we get in the room, you could cast it on a skeleton's head.
Yeah.
Or,
I was going to say, cast it.
I can cast dancing lights in there too.
And it's 10 minutes per level, so
Yeah, it lasts for a while. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm only for first level, but 10 minutes is a long time.
Mhm. So if you cast it,
Ooh.
so it gives off bright light, but only at the range of a torch.
Right.
So it's not as if it's going to illuminate this whole room. It's only going to illuminate a 40-foot diameter. So
Right.
that's actually quite a bit. Let's see.
That's quite a bit. It's a reasonable distance.
Yeah,
These are
that's
5 foot
going
squares,
to
right?
get almost the whole room.
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
All right. So, Grimbol will say, okay, I can... I'll cast light either on somebody and try and blind them, or I'll just cast it so we can all see. Which would you rather me I do?
Well, if you
So-
cast it and blind someone, we could still see from.
Well,
Sure.
so hold on though. These are skeletons. They don't have eyeballs for you.
Oh,
to
that's right.
blind.
Let's go. Yeah, we can't blind them. I can just cast them.
You can momentarily put something light, like the reason why what Matt was saying earlier, his dancing lights would have worked because it's sudden light in front of them, startling them. It's not actually blinding them.
Right. It's just a wake up. It's like, oh, what happened?
Right.
Yeah.
But you can definitely cast it on their head, right?
Okay.
All right, I got an idea. So what I'm going to do is we want initiative. So Trip is going to cast dancing lights. But I want it to be the faintly glowing, vaguely humanoid shape. And, well, can I move it?
You can control
Let's
them, I
see
believe.
here. Otherwise, move as the caster desires. Concentration required, forward, back, up, down, straight, or turning corners, etc. The lights can move up to 100 feet per round. So I'm going to make it I'm going to make it one vaguely humanoid shape, glowing, and I'm going to send that out as my trick to run across the room, see if it draws all their bow fire.
And because we're all in a circle right now, everyone has normal vision.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
But his dancing lights, well, the humanoid shape sheds light.
Right.
So let's see, how much light does it shed?
Because can we see the skeleton in the dark? Or is that part of his action to light up where the skeleton was?
Would be
So
mine.
the dancing, the humanoid shaped dancing lights is going to give off torchlight type
Mhm.
light, right? But it looks just like a sort of lit up humanoid.
Mhm.
So it's going to illuminate that room, basically.
Okay.
Now, Matt, how long can Trip keep that going?
Trip can keep it going for 1 minute.
Right, but that's if you concentrate, right?
Correct.
Right. So if Trip gets hit, it might go away, and then everybody
Correct.
will be in darkness.
That is correct.
Whereas if Grimbol casts light on the skeleton, it doesn't matter.
Hold on.
It doesn't matter if Grimbol gets hit, right?
Right.
Otherwise, moves as a caster desired. No concentration required.
Oh.
So what it is,
concentration required.
I did because I went to the next page. The word "no" is split in between the higher and lower.
Of course.
Yeah. So. My fault. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. That's fine. I missed that too. So okay. All right. So which do you want to do? Do you want Grimbol to cast light, or do you want Trip to cast dancing lights, or do you want to do both?
I'm going to cast dancing lights because it's going to be a humanoid figure, and hopefully they'll all fire at it.
Yeah, his purpose is to draw fire, hopefully.
Okay. All right. So that coalesces and starts walking around the corner. What's everyone else doing?
I'm going to wait to see what happens as it walks around the corner.
So you're basically
Wait for it.
You're forfeiting your turn then.
Oh, I keep forgetting.
Wait for it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's coming. Wait for it.
It's simultaneous. So everything, basically, as he's casting this, all of you are also doing things. So it's fine to say you're going to wait, but then that means next round.
Next round. Yeah, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, go into next round.
Okay, so Burt, Grimbol, what about Rekmit? Are you waiting? Jake?
Waiting.
Rekmit's gonna wait.
Mahl? So let me ask you something. How are you going to know if they shoot at the thing other than just hearing arrows? Because none of you can see it.
Pretty much it.
Well, yeah, we'll hear it hit the wall.
Okay. I guess I'm trying to figure out what that's getting you.
It's getting them to try to be distracted because I'm going to run it. I put a little face token. I'm going to run it to the north, and hopefully they're all going to focus their attention eventually up to there, thinking it's one of us. And then we can duck in and bam, bam, bam.
Oh, but wait, no, because what you're saying is we don't hold, so we have to do something now. So, all right.
Right. So that's the thing is now you're setting this lighted humanoid shape to go over there, and then you're assuming that on their turn they're going to fire at it. And so let's say it does. Now we're rolling initiative again before anybody gets to do anything in the room.
Yeah, we can't hold until after. It's like once we're done, we're done.
Right.
All right. So, all right, Grimbol will. We can't get anywhere. He will move.
I'm not trying to dissuade you from waiting, right? Like I'm just trying to get it clear in my head what exactly. Because even if the skeletons fire at the light guy, they're going to fire bows, right? As far as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're rolling initiative again after that.
Grimbol's actually okay. So you're right. So Grimbol's going to run up. He's actually going to run.
Okay.
Over to this side of the wall. He's going to run up to here. You're right, because he can run. They haven't fired yet.
Yeah, so you guys can
simultaneous. We can move and do stuff.
Right.
You guys can charge in there, and hopefully they'll fire at the first target.
And Grimbol will have pulled out his crossbow as he was running.
Okay.
Not that he can do anything this time, but...
Okay, so that's Trip and Grimbol. What's everyone else doing?
Well, I moved up and took position to charge next round.
Charge what? You can't see any skeletons from where you are.
Well, I know, but I'm going to move into the room next round.
Okay.
I mean, I moved over my full move base to get in position.
Oh, I see. Okay. I get it. All right, so that's Mahl. Jake, Burt, Rekmit.
Go ahead, Rekmit.
Rekmit just basically moves up behind Mahl there.
Okay.
I will move up, and I'm going to be ready to turn undead. If I see something, I'm gonna, make my check.
Can I move on your next turn? You're gonna make your check.
Okay, got it. Yep.
Okay. Burt.
I'll just line up with everyone else. Get ready to run in next round.
Okay. All right. So they do shoot.
Trying to give you room.
At the.
I didn't know if you wanted me to put it on.
I mean, skeletons are pretty stupid, right? We could just run that figure back and forth until they're out of arrows.
So they fire at the figure, right? Two of them hit it, and their arrow goes right through. And then we roll initiative again.
Got an 8.
Ooh, nice.
5, so that means everyone goes.
In we go.
Without concentration, I'm going to have the thing run over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then Trip is going to come around the corner. Let's see, 5, 10, 15. So 15 is right there. And I will fire my bow.
Okay, at who?
At number 4.
Okay.
Do I see anything else when I get across there?
Yeah, so what you see is a huge room, and like many of the other rooms, it has places where mining was occurring, and there are little piles of malachite, this velvet malachite on the ground, right? And then when you sort of glance over at the other skeletons as you're about to aim for number 4, and you see that this one I put a green ring on, number 5, he's actually doesn't have a bow in his hand. He's the one using a pickaxe, and he's standing in front of an enormous opening in the wall that is a vein of this velvet malachite stuff that is going into the wall. But you notice that there's something that's in the middle of that malachite, and that something in the middle is what's giving off the green glow. It's not the malachite itself. But you don't have enough time to sit and study it and look to try to see what it is because you're firing at number 4. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Yes, sir. Let's see here. 13 on the dice is going to be a 14 total. You don't add level to this, right?
No.
No, let's just get checks. 14 total.
That is a miss. All right, so that was Trip. What's everyone else doing?
Burt is going to, you can do double your movement without taking any penalties to AC, right? It's when you start running that there's like moving. There's like your one move, and then you could double move. So like I can go 20 in a round, right?
Yeah.
Is that?
You
Kind of remember how it works.
I think you can quadruple move if you want to burn all your actions on movement.
Quadruple move is a run, and you take a negative to your AC.
Yeah, I was trying to remember if there's one in between just a regular move and running.
It's a jog.
Yeah.
Let's see. You can 2 times your speed is jogging, 4 times your speed is running. I think I don't remember if you take an AC penalty, to be honest. I know you do when you run. You take a -4. But go ahead and figure out if you're just doing 2 times your speed.
Yeah, I can just do two times my speed and get to where I need to, or where I want to.
And I'll just look it up real quick.
I think it's on page 172 in the player's handbook. Because this came up when I was playing with Chuck the other day. Full movement also includes jogging and running, quadruple the normal rate.
Right.
So as a combat action, you can move.
Right, but a movement in the combat round on page 173. An attacker can move 1/2 their movement rate and still attack. Charging is the exception.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. There's some place where it says that if you're running, you take a -4.
That's if you're charging to attack, I think.
You start to attack.
Because if you look below that, it says
Yeah.
successful
Anyway,
charge is -4 to AC.
Yeah, I don't want to belabor the point. So yes, you can do your movement with no AC penalty because you're not attacking. That's fine. I think that is actually how it is too. So there is something about running though that is different. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so that is Burt. Next.
I moved up.
Okay.
Take an attack. And that is a 17.
That's going to hit.
For 8 points of damage.
And what are you using?
Staff.
Okay. That skeleton falls into 100 pieces.
Grimbol is going to run into the room and just come around the corner.
All right. Does he have room to attack? No?
Oh, he's not attacking, no. He's good. He used all his movement to get into the room.
Samuel?
Yep.
I knew to apologize. I keep thinking my movement rate is 30 just because normal humans are 30. So I would have only been able to move 10. So I cheated you. And I will take a penalty action this round.
Didn't you miss anyway?
Yeah, I did, but I
Yeah,
still
so
took an
it's fine.
action. I took an illegal action.
I know, but I'm not. So here's part of the problem with running with a grid is that everybody suddenly gets really invested in counting squares. And to be honest, I don't give 2 shits about counting squares.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm more about how realistic is it. Was it realistic for you to sneak in when you guys had planned your actions and you were ready to move? I don't care if you move 5 feet extra, quote unquote extra, right? Like, that's not. I'm not about that. I really don't care. The image here is more for everybody to be able to understand what's happening, less so about making sure that everybody's only moving their correct movement. Now, if you're suddenly always moving 80 feet per round, I'm going to start calling you on it and saying, hey, you got short legs, right?
Yeah, I got it. It's just
right.
It's second nature.
No,
As soon as you see the grid.
Yeah, no, I know, and that's cool, and I'm not concerned about it. But just so I'm fine. We don't have to renege anything just because of that. That's that's not a big deal. But okay, so that is everybody except Jake and Rekmit.
Jake is going to run into the room and hit number 2.
Okay. Roll me an attack roll.
And this will be with the torch in hand.
Okay.
I hit armor class 14, I believe.
That is a miss.
And charging gives me, what, a +2 to hit?
Oh,
or
you're
no?
charging. Yes, that is going to hit then. Does it give you +2 to hit or damage?
2 to damage.
I thought it was a plus
Plus
two
2 to hit
right?
and 4 to AC.
No, it's +2 bonus to damage, nothing to
Okay,
hit.
got it.
Oh.
All right, so it's a miss.
Okay. Sorry.
And
Rekmit.
Rekmit basically moves up to where Jake was and whips his sling around and shoots at number 5. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, but I don't think you can hit number 5 from where you are.
50 feet is the range.
There's a wall
Saying
in
it's
your
not
way.
line of sight.
It's not the
Then
range.
he would
it's
shoot
not-
at number 1.
It's not okay. Number 1 you can
Can't see 5. I've got 1.
Okay.
3 points of damage if 17 hits.
17 does hit. And which one did you hit? Number 3? No, number 1.
Number 1.
Okay.
The one that's not in melee, because I don't trust myself not to hit my friends.
Okay.
/ meat shields.
Oh,
All right.
and DM, I would have dropped my torch right there behind me where I put that little yellow mark.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so they get to go. Number 2 is going to attack Jake, who has a -4 AC. And I rolled a 12. Does that hit you?
That's a hit. Yes, it is.
Yes?
Yeah.
Jake takes 2 damage. And number
A 12 hits you?
because he's got a -4 because he charged.
Oh, that's right.
Mahl also charged, right?
1, 2, 3, 4. No,
Okay.
I only have to move 20 feet.
All right. So
I mean-
Mahl, 14 does not hit your AC. Is that correct?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. So that one swings at you and misses. Number 5 is still furiously attempting to get out whatever it is that's in that malachite. And number 1 shoots its bow at Jake and hits. Jake takes another 2 damage. And then we roll initiative again.
Wait. So 2 hits, Jake take less damage than Grimbol did with 1. That's just not fair.
Blame the dice. I rolled the same 6-sided die.
Grimbol, you'd still be face down, so don't complain.
Yeah. Someone's like rumbling under his breath.
That's right, Grimbol. Go ahead and grumble.
Kill
Okay.
Grumble.
All right. So
Initiative?
initiative
2.
5. They get to go again. Number 3 swings at Mahl and misses wildly. Number 2 swings at Jake, also misses wildly. Number 1 takes a shot at Jake and also misses. Boy, they had a bad round. Everyone else is up.
Right.
And number 5 is continuing to pick.
Number 5 is picking faster.
So Grimbol will. You hear Grimbol continue his muttering, and you can see him kind of clutching his little piece of jewelry, and he'll attempt to turn them.
Okay.
And that is and that will wisdom, right?
Yep.
No bonus. I think that will miss. That will miss. He doesn't. He's muttering away to himself, and nobody seems to hear him.
Yeah. So you add your level and your modifier to that, right?
Yeah, I did. That got me a grand total of 11 for the primary.
Bummer. Okay.
Mhm.
So that does not work. They don't pay attention to you. Also, if these are ones that have already been turned, you can't attempt to turn them again anyway. It won't work.
Oh, I thought it was only if I'd failed. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you know, you might be right, because you did succeed last time. So anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I failed this one.
Yeah. Okay, so that is Grimbol. Who's next?
Jake is going to attempt to turn undead.
Okay.
That is a. Hold on, need to double check character
Wisdom
sheet.
check.
That is a 18 prime.
Okay. Roll a d12.
11.
Okay. Now they don't flee until it's their turn, because remember this is all simultaneous. So
Yeah. So we wouldn't know.
yeah, so Rekmit, Burt, and Mahl get to and Trip get to go as well.
All right, Burt's gonna try and sneak over behind number 5, who's picking away, and do a back attack.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 13 on the hide check. She might fail.
Yeah, but it's prime for you.
It is prime, yeah.
Yeah, so it succeeds.
That'll be a 22 to hit.
Although you moved, right, when you were...
Yeah, so I moved up to get behind him.
Yeah, so it actually doesn't succeed.
Oh, okay.
When you move, when you're trying to hide from a stationary position, it's easier. When you move and hide, it's harder.
Gotcha. Okay, so for a normal hit, it would have been an 18 to hit.
That hits.
2 points of damage.
What are you using?
A club.
Okay. You actually like crack one of its bones, but it does not stop picking what it's picking at. And if you look up, and you can see, I mean, it's just bones, so you could sort of see through its movements. Apparently, there is a bastard sword embedded in the green malachite, and it is glowing. It's what's giving off the faint green glow, and that's what the skeleton is trying to get out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a swing at that one beside me.
All right.
And 12 will not hit.
Nope.
So.
Unfortunately, it does not.
Trip is going to move 1.5 sections south and send his distraction running straight at number 1 as he fires an arrow at it.
At number 1?
Yeah, at number 1.
Go ahead and...
that is only going to be a 7 total.
That misses. Rekmit.
Oh, there you go.
That stone goes wild and does not hit number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a 5.
Yeah. Initiative.
It is George's turn.
Yep. I got a 5.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
This is another case where the side initiative, right, makes a difference, because Jake, so they won initiative last time, so they got to go first, and then Jake's action happened, which turned them. So they would flee, except they haven't had another turn yet. So now you're getting another turn before you even really get a chance to know, all the rest of you get a chance to know whether his turning actually worked or not. Like, you as players know because he rolled so high, but as characters, you have no idea what's happening.
It's in combat turning. We're just continuing.
I'm going to fire one more time at number 1, hoping to at least hit one time. 15 on the dice is going to be 16 total.
That hits. And how much damage?
Finally. 4 points.
And that's
number 1.
With, what did you fire? An arrow?
Yeah, an arrow.
Okay. It hits it and it falls apart. Your hit was very effective. So that was Trip, Mahl, Jake, Burt, Rekmit, Grimbol.
I got a 19.
That hits.
And that's for 7 points of damage.
Okay. That's number 3 in front of you.
Yeah.
Also breaks apart.
So if it's still not paying attention to me, number 5, can I try and back attack it again?
Sure. It knows you're there, though, so you can't really hide because it knows you're there.
Alright, we'll just do a regular attack then. It'll still be a 20 to hit, though.
Yep, that hits.
4 points of damage this time.
All right. Still does not cause it to change its behavior. Jake, Rekmit, Grimbol.
Jake will take a swing at it, hitting AC 20, and
Okay.
he's still using the torch. So that'll be 3 points of damage.
It is still up. Rekmit, Grimbol.
Charge it, but seeing as number 2 is still there, I'll just jog up to the side of number 5. Pulling on my rapier.
You could charge number 2.
Fine, I'll charge number 2. You talked me into it.
I'm just saying.
Grimbol was going to charge him with this.
15 to hit.
How much?
Wait, +2, right, on a charge, or is it +4?
Plus.
No.
No, there's no attack
Nope.
bonus on a charge. It's a bonus to damage.
Okay, so then it's a 16 to hit.
Okay, that still hits.
How much is the plus on the damage?
2.
6.
All right. And what? You're using a rapier?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's still up. That's Rekmit, Grimbol.
Grimbol really can't do a lot, so he's just going to run down towards here.
Okay. All right. And then they get to go. Number 2 turns to flee. Actually, it can't go that way. It has to go this way because it has to get as far away from Jake as possible.
So number 2 isn't turned anymore because Jake hit it. That
That's
breaks
right.
the turn.
Jake attacked it. That's right. I forgot Jake attacked it. You are correct. Okay, well, number 2 is going to attack then. And
Sorry, Jake.
it's going to attack Burt. And miss miserably. So Burt got lucky. And then number 5 is still chiseling away.
Protecting number 5.
Initiative.
So number 5 isn't turned?
Nope.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
George, do you win? Yeah, it's still you.
I got a 4.
I got a 5. Number 2 is going to attack Burt. And 16 on the die, so that's probably going to hit. What's your AC, Burt?
Definitely hits. I got 15 AC, so.
You're going to take 3 points of damage. Number 5 is trying to move closer to the thing that it's digging out. It's trying to get as far away from the things attacking it as possible, but it does not sway from its task. And now everyone else is up.
Bert's going to move up and take his crowbar and start... no, wait. I have a... Damn, I thought I had a pick. Wrong character. Well, I'll take my crowbar and start hacking at the rock too.
Okay.
You can...
Around
there's picks on the ground if you want to grab one.
You can take that skeleton's pick.
Yeah, that's true. There are picks on the ground. Yeah, I'll pick up a pick. If there's picks on the ground, I'll pick up a pick, and I'll start hacking away at the wall using my. I'm a dwarf. I can do this. I know how to do this.
Are you trying to hack the weapon out, or you're just hacking some gems out?
No, I'm trying to hack the weapon out.
Okay. Number 5 kind of moves over a little bit to give you a little more room. He just sort of almost imperceptibly moves over to give you room.
I just look at him and I nod to him and carry on hacking away.
Who else?
Well, you want to go, Bart?
Sure, I'll take another swing at number 5. I'll get him eventually. I've been rolling good to hits. It's a 14 to hit.
That is a miss.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to come up in here, and I'll swing at that guy at number 5 with my staff,
Okay.
and I miss.
All right.
Trip is going to send his distraction to try to crowd number 5. And I am going to move behind Grimbol to try to restrain him on my next turn.
Okay. That leaves Rekmit.
Jake get to go?
Not yet.
I want Jake to go first.
You want Jake to go first? Okay, Jake.
Yeah.
So I hit armor class 13 on this.
That is a miss.
Darn it, I can't charge the other one now. Fine, Jake. Leave it up to the guy who can't hit a brick wall. Oh, well, I can hit this wall. That's an 18
Okay.
and 3 points of damage, but that's with the rapier.
All right. All right. It's still up and fighting. Initiative.
Robert, you're up.
Okay. Yeah, and I also moved a little bit to the side to try and give Jake some help for like behind flanking or something. 7.
I rolled a 2.
Trip is going to try to restrain Grimbol and be like, "What are you doing, man?"
So you're gonna grapple him?
I am, or I'm going to try to take the pick out of his hand. Does he allow me to take his pick?
But he's not fighting, he's looking at you strangely.
Why are you trying to hack it out of the wall? The skeleton will grab it.
Then we'll kill the skeleton.
We'll kill the skeleton first.
But he can help hack the wall.
We can hack the wall just fine. We've got 2 dwarves amongst us. Give me that pick.
He looks at him and...
I want to take another swing at the skeleton.
Well, wait. Grimbol, did you give up the pick willingly?
Yeah, it's like, whatever.
Okay.
I missed again.
Okay. So that's Trip and Mahl. What's everyone else doing?
Burt took a swing at number 5 and missed.
Okay.
Jake will move over to attack the skeleton. AC 16.
That hits.
6 points of damage.
And that's with that torch?
Yeah.
Okay. It finally breaks into 200 pieces. That's Jake, Rekmit, and Grimbol.
Grimbol picked up another pick and starts hacking at the wall.
Okay. Rekmit? Rekmit's...
You're mute.
I know, I'm trying to get the darn mute thing turned off. I don't know why I'm rolling really well for attacking, but that's a 19 for 2 points of damage.
I hate to tell you this, but you can't stand there because the humanoid light is standing there.
It's light. I don't care about light. I'm going to go through it.
It'll blind you.
Fine. How about there?
That's fine. What did you roll to hit?
19.
I'm giving you a hard time because you're like holding your dinner. You're like, look, everyone, look what I have, and you don't.
I know, and I'm hungry now because even though I've had dinner.
My wife actually cooked for once. I don't think she heard it.
I noticed you said that when she was well out of the room.
Yes, she's going to come in.
Looking for knives. Come through the door. Oh, she just yelled at me. I'm in trouble.
That'll be the last time she cooks for you. What did you roll to hit?
19, but 2 damage.
2 damage. Okay. But
it's a rapier.
Yeah. All right. All right. Finally, this one stops. And it turns around. And it points at all of you except for Grimbol. And it points at the passageway. And you see that its eyes are 2 pieces of malachite that are glowing green. And then after it points at all of you except for Grimbol and points at the passageway out, it turns back around and starts tapping and trying to get the sword out again. And then we roll initiative.
Go, Robert. You win.
Who's got initiative?
Robert.
8,
Robert.
How much?
8.
I rolled a
8.
9.
There goes my good roll.
It was a good roll, but I happened to roll my best initiative roll of the night. Since none of you moved since the last time it turned around, it turns again, and as it turns, it reaches up and it grabs the hilt of the sword that's in the stone, and it yanks it out, and it holds the sword up, and the sword is kind of glowing this weird green, meshy, weird, misty kind of color, and then takes its whole turn because it had to use all of its strength to pull that thing out. So you all get to go, but now the skeleton is standing here with the sword.
Maybe you should have reached up and pulled it.
So
Okay.
the first thing that Trip is going to do is move the distraction onto the skeleton so that hopefully it will be blinded in the same way Rekmit might have been. And I am going to grab Grimbol from behind, be like, "What are you doing? You fool! Stop it! Snap out of it!" And I'm going to try to pull him back.
You're gonna have to make a. I mean, if you're gonna grab onto him and pull him back, you're gonna have to make a grapple attack against him.
That is what I'm doing.
Unless he wants to go willingly.
Oh, well, we'll have to see about that.
So for grappling purposes, Grimbol, your AC is, if your strength is secondary, your AC is 12 plus your strength modifier plus your dexterity modifier.
Yeah, it's actually 18 plus my strength plus my dex is the primary.
Yep.
So it is 22. It's strength plus dex, right?
Yep.
Modifier?
Yep.
22.
So Trip is very small and very weak. I rolled a 9, so that's going to be an 8 total.
And Grimbol, what are you doing?
What?
Sword?
Why are you helping the skeleton? Help us! Attack it!
Grimbol kind of shakes him off his leg and will try and grapple the skeleton.
Grimbol's going to try to grapple the skeleton?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Probably not because it's the 6 plus 2. No, that's never going to make it. Doesn't matter.
No, it shakes you off.
And Grimbol will turn around and look. See, you put me off.
Okay.
Does Trip get knocked back 5 feet from Grimbol?
I'll try and grapple him.
No, I mean, unless Grimbol really tried to push him back. I don't think.
Nah, Grimbol was just like, pushing his leg back.
So,
Leave me alone.
well, I'll take a shot at grappling it.
Grappling the skeleton?
Yep.
Okay. I need an unarmed melee attack from you.
Okay.
That's D20 plus your base to hit plus your strength mod.
Okay. Ah, 7.
Yeah, nope. It shakes you off as well. So that's Trip, Mahl, and Grimbol, Rekmit, Burt, and Jake.
Burt will swing at him again, getting more and more frustrated this time. That'll be a 19 to hit.
That will actually hit.
2 points of damage.
Well, there's 2 points of damage here.
All right.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Rekmit and Jake.
I will. Oh, go ahead.
16 hit.
That hits.
6 points of damage with a rapier.
What's your AC? Is it higher than 15? Okay. As you hit it, it swipes back at you and does 5 points of damage with that broadsword.
Oh. I got like a 12 AC. That's
yeah. Jake.
So, did I see that this has the glowing green eyes as well?
Yes, because it turned around and it looked at all of you and pointed at you and pointed at the passageway. So everyone saw it.
So this is a different type of undead.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
It is, yes.
Different to the other skeletons, for sure.
All right.
Glowing green eyes are the malachite gems, right?
Right.
So can I attempt to turn undead against it?
You can. It is a more difficult turn, but you can definitely do so.
That would be 16 prime.
It's a question of how many you turn.
Oh, yeah.
D12, D6, and 1, I think it is.
So if it's common undead, it's a D12. If it's extraordinary, it's a D6. But there's only one of them, so.
Right.
If it's super extraordinary, it's still 1.
It's still 1, right.
Yep, I was just looking something up.
No. Right.
As you get done, well, so actually, how do you turn? I asked Grimbol this earlier, but what does it look like when Jake Tildor turns undead? What does he do?
Oh, that's easy. Jake will make the sign of Durendale's sword in the air, and he says, "By the flaming sword of Durendale, I command you to turn and flee from his holy might."
So the skeleton doesn't flee.
Well, no, it won't until its next turn, right?
Well, but it is its turn because you're the last one on this turn.
Oh, okay.
So its eyes literally fall out of the sockets and it crumbles, like it just falls down. And as the bones hit the ground, they kind of crack and scatter. So now on the ground is a sword that's still kind of glowing green and 2 malachite eyeball-sized pieces of stone. Those are polished. They're not the velvety, unpolished ore type.
Don't let Grimbol touch it. Something's possessed him.
I'm not possessed. I just wanted the sword.
So we're out of combat.
I am going to... Oh, wait. I don't know if this is worth doing. Hang on 1 minute. We're out of combat, so we're kind of like relaxed now. So
while he's doing that, Rekmit basically falls to his knee bleeding.
Mahl comes in closer to examine this thing. He's going to pick up the 2 stones.
No one's going to help Rekmit with.
I was going to say, yeah,
I'm going to go to Rekmit and actually give him 8. I believe it's 8 points I can give him, or is it a D8? Wait, I've got to check. No, it's a D8. Hang on. So can I?
So
That
goes
was,
from his knees and falls to his back like, oh god.
Rekmit gets 3 points back. You were injured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get 3 points back.
Grimbol just
Oh, yeah.
healed you.
He was injured before this all started. He just didn't want anyone to know.
Ah, okay. But then Grimbol will cast Detect Magic on the sword.
Okay, and so what is detect magic?
No,
tell
no,
you?
no, it doesn't tell you. It depends whether it's magical or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, well. No, I will. It's worth it. And I will also, because it left, and I will check for the gems too.
Okay, so let me look something up.
It doesn't identify, it just tells you whether it's magical or not. Bullshit, I never identify.
While he's checking that stuff out, I'm gonna go wrap a bandage on Rekmit. So that's 1 or 2 points, right?
Yep.
And it's going to be 1 more point for you.
So, Grimbol, the sword is giving off an overwhelming aura of magic. But the malachite stones, the polished stones that were in the sockets, are very, very weak, lingering.
Okay. Well, is there anything else I see in this area that's magical? I'll kind of wander around for...
No, but how many of you are lawful good?
Good. It's always nice to know.
Nope, neutral good.
Got it, good. So got one of the two, but
Not me.
Yep, I'm not.
I said, I don't know if any of us are lawful good, right? Not even Jake, right?
I don't understand that someone would be lawful good. What?
Jake is lawful good.
he is.
Don't tell
you
me
are?
that. I can't know this. It would ruin our friendship.
Well, that's player knowledge, not character knowledge. Okay, so you have to write some things. So
Goody two shoes, Durendale boy.
That's right.
Grabbing that sword and starting taking off people's heads here.
Let Jake carry the sword, because he's the purest amongst us.
Doesn't Durendale allow you swords? I can't remember. No, it's not Durendale.
I'll carry it if everyone's afraid of it.
Jake actually is proficient in a bastard sword as well.
Yeah, I was thinking it's because Durendale's the sword, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I would carry it, but I don't think I could pick it up.
yes.
Well, I don't know if I want to pick it up. We might disagree on things.
Well, if you don't want to pick it up, I probably should try to pick it up, right?
There you go.
I mean, as your friend, I should check it out for you. But,
Oh, that's how it works.
I mean, we don't want to leave it here. And Jake, if you don't want to touch it, I'll touch it.
I mean, we can't leave it for them to come and find and
Oh,
have.
no.
We got to take it with us.
I mean, if nothing else, this is valued.
Nothing else. We'd wrap it up to carry it away from here.
You have to take it. It is not good. I will not touch it.
But is
Trip
it
kind of
evil?
pulls.
This is a sword of great power as well. And
Trip pulls Burt to the side. He says, Did you see the way Grimbol was acting? He was trying to help the skeleton free the broadsword, the bastard sword.
you would have been in a moment probably as well, my friend.
I'm talking to Burt, not you.
You're just being a dwarf, Willie. Just trying to mine it out, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, but the threat wasn't finished yet. It's very suspicious, don't you think?
I do agree it would have made more sense to get rid of the skeleton first. We have to keep an eye on him around the sword.
Okay. Nobody else wants to retrieve it. I'll go over and pick up the sword.
Are you gonna wrap it up first, or are you gonna just grab it?
I'm just going to reach down and touch it. Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Trip kind of moves over here first. Samuel, I always forget. Can we retrieve arrows, like half, or?
Yeah, you can retrieve arrows. Pretty much the way I kind of think about it is about 80% of your arrows are probably useful enough that you could sharpen them back up and use them after the next time you get some time to take care of your weapons.
So Jake is actually going to be healing himself.
Okay. I just need to find something in my notes real quick. So.
Okay. So I'll work it into my belt.
Well, you already picked it up, so hold on.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
While I'm over there talking to Burt, I'm going to be like, Burt, did you notice how the skeleton also did not point at Grimbol? Don't you find that strange?
Well, I'm assuming it was because Grimbol was helping.
Exactly.
If I was helping,
So
sword held no magic for me.
if you're talking to Burt, how is Trip on the other side of the room?
This was while we were waiting.
There you go. Burt came over.
Pulled Burt to the side, remember?
Yeah.
Trip said,
I'm
Trip
just
pulls Burt to the side. I can't help it if Burt didn't move his token.
kill Mahl?
Not yet. I'm waiting for him to tell me what to roll to see if I.
Thing is, Rekmit's like rolling his set, like, wrap it up in something. Oh, he ignored me. Great. This is always going to work out well.
What is Maul's alignment?
Neutral.
True neutral?
True neutral.
Okay.
He's here to kill goblins and nothing else.
Exactly.
Okay, so I just sent you some information.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's always good.
Okay, so Maul picks up the sword. What's everyone else doing? Richard froze. The news I
Coming
gave
with
him.
me.
The news
I
I
don't
gave
even
him
have a
was so great.
backpack.
Wait, what? You froze up, so we didn't hear anything you said.
Oh, I was gonna say. So you guys hadn't really ever realized. I mean, I don't even have a backpack. I've got a sack that I kind of stuff through my belt that has a crowbar and a hammer in it, and a couple of days of rations. And other than that, I got a sword, a staff, and a bow, and a sling, and a pouch with some slings, and a pouch with. And I really can't figure out a way to get it. My sword. So I go, don't worry, guys. I'll just carry it.
So does it
Jimbo's
appear to
kinda
be
wondering
odd the
what-
way he's saying this?
I mean, I don't know. Do you think it's odd?
Seems logical to
Well,
me.
you mean carry it until we get to the church and then turn it in, correct?
Yes, I believe it seems a little odd.
Sure,
Again, a 50-50.
that sounds fine.
How about we wrap it up first?
Just make it harder to carry. It's got this nice handle on it. I'm good. So we got rid of these guys. Let's go check that other door in the Dwarven area.
Rekmit's going to motion to Jake.
You want to lead the way with your new sword?
Jake,
Sure thing.
something's not right.
Yeah, got it. Heard you. No, it's just, yeah. We'll need to contemplate this and keep an eye on that one.
And Rekmit slowly stands up, looking like he's really unhappy with the day.
It's getting late. Perhaps we should head back up to the entrance and camp for the night.
Could be
Everyone can go to sleep. And Trip winks at Rekmit.
Well, so head out and check on the surveyors.
That'll
Perhaps
be a
we
bad
should.
idea.
Or
You having trouble getting across that bridge again?
Or do we need to check out this whole area in the end of the rail line first? Ugh.
I think do we want to wander around just this opening, where that opening was?
I just hate to go back across that bridge more times than we
Me
have
too.
to.
Good point.
Is anybody going to grab the eyeball gems?
Oh, yeah.
I have them.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the same dude's already grabbed them.
Okay.
Is there anything else in that malachite wall?
Yeah, an enormous piece of
Just
velvet
malachite there?
malachite. I mean, it's like
Okay.
larger than any other piece in this entire place.
Is it still glowing?
The sword is glowing.
The sword was glowing. Okay, so the
Yeah,
glow is gone
malachite-
from the wall.
Yeah, the malachite, it seemed like that's what was glowing at first, but once you all got in there and you understood that there's a weapon in there, it's the weapon
the
that's
sword.
glowing. It's
So-
still glowing, by the way.
How much light does it give off? Like a torch, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, more like a candle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, in a 5-foot diameter around the thing, right? So 2.5
Right.
foot radius. So it's just,
Enough to light the square that he's standing in.
right.
Cool.
The eyeball gems, they gave off a little bit of magic. Is that correct, Grimbol?
Yeah, a little bit of magic. The sword was really strong. The eyeballs are little.
Is the piece of malachite in the wall, or was it like mined out? Like, can we grab it, or is it like the vein that was large?
It's the wall. It's
Okay.
enormous. It's like it's a big opening in the wall where, as if they had found a small vein, and as they started trying to expand the vein, it's enormous. It's huge.
So I'm going to call out to the group and be like, well, perhaps they're not collecting the malachite from the other room. Perhaps they were looking for this all along, because they're not transporting the piles anywhere.
Yeah.
That checks out. Yeah.
Let's check out that opening to the northeast, and then maybe there's no malachite in here. I mean, we're not going to hammer this stuff out. Leave that to the family. We could collect the other bit.
So when you inspect this this more easterly area over here, it opens into a very narrow. It's actually more narrow than I drew it here, but it's a very narrow passageway that leads down to the places where there are the two slots in the wall.
Okay. Nothing else in there?
Nope.
Okay.
We could tie the rope to the crowbar and leave it on this side of the wall, and then put the rope through the slot, so it'll be anchored.
Could do that.
It's a good idea.
Just to give us a little more stability crossing the bridge.
Okay,
So you know what I'm saying?
You're gonna
Like
go
if you
back
tie
and-
the rope to the crowbar,
Mhm.
and then put it on this side of the wall and put the rope through the little hole, then the crowbar will be pressed up against the wall and brace.
Then you'll never get your rope back. Plus, you're gonna have to tie it to another rope.
Oh, going back across. We'll leave the rope and the crowbar here, but we can get more rope and crowbar. What are they, like, a couple gold pieces each?
And we have rope in the car. Crowbar we may not have, but we have rope.
Well, I got a crowbar.
Okay, so I'll give it my. I actually have 2 crowbars. No, I don't. I have 1. Sorry, that was how much I paid for it.
Just an idea to make the rope more stable.
Okay.
So what are you doing with the crowbar?
Tie the rope to it. Put the rope through the slot. The crowbar's there as an anchor, just to stabilize the rope as you put through.
Okay.
Because then when the rope is pulled on detention, the crowbar will be slammed up against the wall. So
Just give us something to roll against as we cross the bridge.
Okay. All right.
All right.
What order are you crossing the bridge in?
You may want to go heavy to lightest at this point.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
So the opposite order.
Yes,
It's a horrible idea because if the bridge collapses, we'll all be trapped on this side.
Well,
Lightest people should go across first.
But at least we'll all be trapped together.
one thing that the heavier people might want to try to do is, can you walk on the two rails?
That's what I did going through. We didn't. Using the rails because at least I'll distribute the weight.
Right. On top of that, if the wood gives way underneath it, the rail is still held by additional pieces of wood.
Hopefully.
It's not a bad idea. Or the rails, are at least held together by being rails.
Yeah.
But the part is there a check walking on the rails?
I don't know, but Trip is going to let you guys debate it while he crosses first.
Trip makes it across with no problem.
With or without a rope tied to you?
Without.
I'm already across
He's
now.
already on the other side.
All right, Burt will grab the rope and follow him after with the rope.
Okay. Burt makes it across with no problem.
Rekmit will go next.
Okay, Rekmit makes it across with no problem.
Mahl, you just hold up. Let these heavy guys get across first.
No problem.
Grimbol will go next.
And after that, Jake will go. He'll do the same thing with his pack. He'll use his own rope to pull it across.
Hold on 1 second.
Grimbol, what happened to Grimbol? Grimbol is it's very silent. Always worrying.
Wilhelm scream.
So for a brief moment, you're all on the other side, and the only two people that are on the far side now are Jake and Mahl. And you notice that the sword that Mahl is holding gets a lot brighter when it's close to Jake.
Jake, it's your turn. Come on. Quickly now. We don't have time to tarry.
I proceed across, like I said, with the backpack, 50 feet behind me on the rope. On my own rope to pull it across, and I'll use the rope that we have there.
Okay. Jake makes it across with no problem.
Jake, I don't think that sword likes you.
I don't like the sword. I said it made me sick.
It was glowing when you were next to it.
No,
as if it sensed your
really,
presence.
It doesn't like you.
I think I saw Mahl look at you out of the side of his eye.
I told you that the sword was evil.
As soon as Mahl hits the middle of the bridge, smash it!
Do you have any holy water? Perhaps we could bless the sword.
Well, once Jake gets across, I will cross.
Before Mahl lets go of the rope, I'm going to ask for a torch. I'm going to light the torch, tie it to the end of the rope, and drop it to see if we can tell how deep the cavern is. Or at least, have the rope hang 50 feet down with the torch attached.
Why do you have to do that before Mahl crosses?
Oh, I said after Mahl gets across, so I can have the rope.
Okay,
sorry,
I thought you said before.
Though.
Yeah.
Did I? That might have been, just after.
Accidental.
Slip of the tongue.
Okay. Yeah. So you tie the rope to a torch, and you drop the torch down. It's down there 50 feet, and you do not see an end. You don't see a bottom, so it's at least.
I was just curious.
It's at least 70.
And so now,
because the rope is 50. And then the torch will illuminate 20 feet beyond its end. So it's at least 70 feet.
We could you could take a minute to look down there without any light.
I did no. Remember, I Grimbol did. Grimbol says, "Why are you doing that?" I told you before. It's like over 100.
Were you? I didn't know you looked down there. But anyway, this way the torch is going to burn the rope and alleviate any trace of our presence, and then the crowbar will drop, and we can pick it up next time we go around.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So everybody's going back to the entrance then.
Yep, think so.
Right. I think there's nothing else we've missed, right? I think if we.
Oh, and Rekmit is going to be side-eyeing and really paying attention to what Mahl's doing, because he's a little concerned right now.
And Grimbol is just.
Grimbol, just keep an eye on him.
And Grimbol is kind of, as we go past these mining areas, is picking up malachite.
Okay.
While he's picking up malachite, can we make a...
If I see Grimbol do that, I'll be like, Grimbol, we'll bring a cart down here to get this stuff.
I look at them and I'm like, why are we picking up the malachite? It's not ours.
That's
yes,
correct.
It is.
It's not
we found
ours.
it as part of our booty. It's not mine. I think it's not mined, is the Baron's.
Anything that is in the mine is the Baron's.
No. Everything we found that the skeletons knocked out of the wall that we defeated, that's their possessions.
Well,
Anything still in the wall is the Baron's.
It's up for debate, but we can't carry it all anyway. But he does deserve...
we got horses outside.
I'm sure he
that
won't
wall
mind
of malachite, that's the Baron's.
if we take some payment.
Everything in the
I'll grab
walls
one more
is the
handful.
Baron's.
So I have 2 handfuls of malachite now.
I question your methods and ethics. I will think about it during the night.
And we also make
While
a
you're
couple of
questioning that,
secret door
watch the
traps while we're
sword.
walking.
Wait. Not everybody at once. Okay, so who is taking malachite?
I took 1 more handful.
Okay, so Trip has malachite.
But then Grimbol, and I think it was Rekmit, said, "Hey, we'll just bring a cart down." It's like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, but you still picked up a couple of pieces.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Burt definitely picked up some malachite.
Burt picked
But he
up
did it
some.
kind of sneakily.
Okay.
Didn't want to come with a ruckus.
Mahl, did you
Rekmit
take
does
some?
not, because he just doesn't look like he can barely...
I haven't taken any except those 2 pieces that fell out of the skeleton's eyes.
Right.
Rekmit doesn't pick any up because he's barely dragging himself back to the entrance as it is, with trying to make it look like he's not.
And while we're walking and picking up piles of gems, can we make some secret door checks too? See if,
so do you want to search the entire place? Because that's going to take you a really long time. Or do you have something
just
in particular that you want to look for?
In the side rooms, just whenever we stop to pick up a handful, just check a wall real quick.
Well, I mean, this is a big place, right? This is a big place.
The second map. So whichever room we stop to grab a couple handfuls, we will just, as time allows, maybe just check 1 or 2 rooms. We could just check these 2 right here.
Yeah.
So just those 2?
I figured, while we're walking along, grabbing some handfuls.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
I'm looking for any cracks in the wall that might lead to a deeper cavern, any wind coming from somewhere else, or the sound of dripping water further in the wall.
You don't see really any of that in those 2 areas.
Or anything that looks out of the ordinary, like it's been built over the wall.
No. The only place you've seen that in here is this dwarven door.
Okay.
Quick question: Did we just, as we come down through here, this first room to the kind of west? It looks like we went into it, but there may be an opening. We maybe didn't explore all of it.
Is that water, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like there's some water there.
There's water, but then there's an opening.
It's a little bit of water. There is a tiny opening, but it's not really. It doesn't lead anywhere. It's a sort of little flooded out area.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, there you go.
It's just the way the map is. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way the map is. You actually have stepped in there at one point, so.
Yeah. I wasn't.
The room to the right. As we go over and check that, is there something in that first minecart?
No, I know it looks like it on the picture. It looks like
Rope.
It looks like a gold brick.
it looks like dirt.
Dirt in the minecart. What a surprise.
There you go.
Got rocks in this minecart. Who'd have thought?
Yeah,
It's
no,
old
they're
TNT.
actually. I know the picture shows that, but they're actually there's the only thing in there is that the mine carts are empty, and there are picks and shovels and whatnot in here, but there's not a keg of TNT, and there's not anything in that cart.
Rekmit, here's your
So-
mine cart.
So we're
I know.
pretty much ready to wind down here. So unless there's anything else you want to do specifically I mean, are you going to take a mine cart and go fill it up with malachite?
Ooh, that sounds like a good idea.
That sounds like a
Not
good
right
idea.
now, though. Let's finish up this episode. I don't think we would have the time to go do all that right now because we're beaten up.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like, before you end up going back to talk to the surveyors and take a rest, are you gonna go
We could
fill
do
up a
that.
mine cart?
What the rest of you say?
Bring the minecart to the surveyors, though. We can hide little handfuls of malachite.
Yeah, we won't necessarily throw them where it is. Like, there's a nice little junction further down here.
If you believe that everything on the ground is supposed to be ours, then you won't have any problem telling the Baron that we took a mine cart full of malachite.
That's right. I don't have any problem doing that.
No, it's ours.
Take it.
So we will, before we've cleared out the mine.
We still have to tell these jokers when we get back down there that there's more clearing that needs to be done because we need to explore Rune before we get out of here.
Oh,
If we
absolutely.
tell them we've cleared it, they're not going to understand why we're still wanting to explore.
And that's my other
Correct.
question.
Well, we
I
tell them
think we
cleared
should
it.
not tell them about the Dwarven door just yet.
Okay.
Oh,
hold on.
never.
That's my question: is do we go check out and see if that purple or velvet horror is dead yet, or do we just head out first?
Oh, we could
That's a good call.
Basically, that's how we're ending the session, right, Sam?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so we should probably check it to make sure it's not still growing, and if we can close the door or not.
Yeah.
Because we got to at least close the door, otherwise it's going to close off the hallway.
So my guess is what we're getting at is we're going to end the session not gathering all this stuff. We're going to end the session basically going to go back in and check the violet fungus stuff. So that's where we're at,
Okay.
right?
I agree.
Sound like what everyone's agreeing with?
That's
Check.
What you're looking for, Sam?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Okay.
Check and make sure if it's burnt, we can close the door and then go back and camp for the night.
Well, that's where we'll probably start off the next session is there. Sounds what it seems what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
we can start off checking out the violet
We were
fungus.
just trying to figure out if we were going to try and gather up a bunch of malachite, or we're going to go all the way back, or what we're going to do.
Yeah, but that's a bad place to start because then we're going to go adventuring and we got to rest.
right. No,
So
I think
let's-
breaking at the rest makes sense.
Let's check and see if it's burnt. If it is, shut the door and then go sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. From your vantage point, well, actually, first of all, you have to get through that dwarven door again.
Say the words, Rekmit. Say the words that I told you. Listen, Jake. Listen.
You can tell it's physically hurting Rekmit. Beyond the physical pain he's already had. And then he says, I am the All-Father in Dwarven, very quietly to the door.
The door opens.
Is there any violet fungus in the hallway?
No.
So the paintings on the wall, not the paintings, the reliefs on the wall.
Well, so
Frescoes of it.
the door is only about 6 or 8 inches
Oh.
open,
That's right.
right? So the question is, do you want to investigate the room? Do
No.
you want to just peek in to see that it's still on fire or dying or gone? Like what? How?
I think we're just wanting to see if it's burned back enough that we can close the door without getting.
Right. You could have done
Yeah.
that before, though. Remember, before you left, I said, "Do you want to shut the door or not?" and you all voted
Right,
not
but
not
we
to go
were
close to
afraid
it.
that one of those tentacles was going to grab us.
Sure. Yes. I
Yeah,
know.
we
Now
know
that
we
we've
knew
got it
we know that was a
away.
trick.
I'm
We're the
just
party
saying,
of the paranoid.
right, but I'm just saying, like, your choice. Yes, obviously you can shut the door if you work at it. You knew that before. It's just that you didn't want to approach it. So my question is, are you approaching it and you're going to investigate in there and stick around and look, or are you just going to walk up, two of you are going to shut the door, and then you're going back?
Right, we're just going to go shut the door. We're going to look and see if the fungus is back away from the door so we feel safe closing it. We're not going in the room.
The fungus was enough away from the door to close it before.
Right. So I think we're
So
just closing
with the door, yeah, so we're just closing the door.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we didn't close the door before.
So who's going to?
Now they're going to go look and see how far back the
See,
fungus is.
see,
No, we're just closing the door,
Right.
and then we're going to go. Then we're going to go camp for the night.
Yes. Who's going to?
we're all going to close it together.
Right. I keep asking though, who's going to do it?
Burt will go.
You can't all close it together. It's not that big. Two
So
people.
Burt and Rekmit are going to close it.
No, Rekmit is not going to be anywhere near that room. Rekmit's like doing this from the back one. What do I see?
Oh, come on, Burt, I'll help you.
There we go. All right. Burt Mahl will go.
Rekmit is afraid of anything purple from now on out and violet. It's my favorite color in person. It's Rekmit's horrid. Rekmit sees a violet bush and wants to burn it from now on.
So who's going to try to shut the door?
Burt and Mahl.
Burt and Mahl will.
Oh, Burt and Mahl. Okay.
Burt and who?
Mahl.
Okay. So I need a strength check from Mahl. A strength siege check.
Ooh. That will be a 11, a non-prime.
And what's Burt's strength modifier?
Burt's strength modifier is 0.
So you all see Mahl and Burt trying to pull the door closed, and it's not budging.
Grimbol will go up and help. So really, guys, come on.
One of them is going to have to move out of the way while
Yes,
you.
Burt
I'll
will
get out
take
of
it.
the way. Or do you want? I can assist. I'm
You stay
harder
on.
at assisting than I am doing
Yeah.
it. Because I got a decent modifier.
Yeah. So roll again.
12.
And my modifier is 2.
15. That's 15 prime.
Okay. With a lot of scraping and trying to pull the door on its hinges, you get it to finally shut because it's still so swollen because it was so wet in there.
Mhm.
And even though it had by the time you got back there, you could tell that the fungus was burned back quite a bit, at least halfway into the room. You didn't stick your head all the way in, so you don't really. You just know that it's at least farther than half. But it's still pretty humid in there, so the door is still pretty swollen. But you did get it shut, so now it's shut.
Okay.
Head back and rest, right? Let's go see make sure the surveyors. Well, make sure the horses are fine.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the surveyors.
Surveyors, it's like, yeah.
Okay.
We just will personally deliver the notes if they write.
So, do you need a camping plan?
Now, is there bed frames in any of those quarters, or are we just empty?
No,
Well, I
the only
don't think
one was the
we didn't get
office.
into the residential one.
Oh, I guess
There's
we
a
did.
residential room, but that one we didn't go in because it was still locked.
Yep, that's right here.
So maybe you guys should try to bust it open right now so we can see if there's any possessions left behind.
Okay. Well, I think I failed to unlock that, so maybe Burt can unlock it.
Once you fail an open lock check, is it like turning? You can't try it again?
Correct.
Why don't we
until
send the session right here?
Not until circumstances change. Right? That is, until the individual who attempted it either gains a level or gets some different tools, or something has to change.
Like a sledgehammer.
If neither one can do it, I will try rending rune upon it.
Bird's time
I mean,
to shine.
the shape the door is in, you're pretty sure you could just bust it open, but then you're making it so that you probably won't be able to have a good closure on that door anymore.
I'm just going to rend it.
Give it a go if you want. Oh, you want to rend
Rending ruin it. I want it just to work for once.
Oh,
yeah, I'm
no.
not worried about the door still being there.
No, keep the door. Let Burt open
I'll
it.
put the rending rune on the lock. Oh, hamstring seizing up. Sorry.
Now we have no stake in this mine. We can wreck the place. They wouldn't give us our 2% stake.
I know, but having the door sealed gives us somewhere to hide in case anything does come.
Yeah, it does make a little sense.
All right, I'll give it a go and try and pick it first then.
All right.
And if I fail, the rending to back it.
Give me a pick lock check.
That's an 18 prime.
You easily open the door. Click.
Peace. That's not the old Burt that I remember.
New and improved Burt.
It's the new improved
And
Burt.
Rekmit looks sad.
Are there beds and mattresses in here?
So let me open it up for you here. What is in here is a roughly square room that is full of bunk beds that they line the walls. So on about every 5 feet, there's a set of bunk beds, but they're not really bunk beds like on a wooden frame. They're like hanging on chains so that the actual, like, there's basically a kind of wooden piece that's anchored to the wall on chains, and then there's like mattresses, little thin chintzy mattresses on those, and there's two on each, one on top of the other, and they're about every 5 feet on all 3 of these walls. So this northern wall and the western wall and the southern wall. And then on this eastern wall is a set of what amounts to like little lockers, right? Little boxes that you could use a key in so that people could lock their possessions in there. And in the middle, there's a big round table with about 4 or 5 chairs around it. There's some playing cards and some dice on there.
Burt will try and tug open the lockers, see if any of them are open or if they're locked.
I will.
They're all open.
I will
Anything,
collect the playing cards and the dice.
Okay. No, I mean, the most that you find in the lockers are like cloths and some empty bags, and mostly they cleared out and they took off.
Okay, worth a go.
So, yeah, I guess we'll connect with the surveyors, tell them we're going to camp for the night. I'm going to mark off one of my rations and the rest of my water skin. And I am out of water.
We need water for the horses for the night, too.
Probably should just take the horses to water.
Yeah.
Since we really don't have a place to do them, so maybe some of us could go do that. Got to be some water around here.
There's the
So,
river, but how far away is it?
Well, I mean, there's got to be water besides the river. There's got to be a creek or something around here.
Yeah, so let's actually.
And I'm somewhat skilled in finding those things, so
let's deal with this next session. That way we can end this one. So you're back. You told Balak and Rico that you're gonna take care of provisions for the animals and for yourselves, and then you're gonna rest until tomorrow when you're gonna go finish cleaning out everything.
Yeah.
They inform you that they feel like you're working a shorter day than you should, but Balak supposes that if you're tired already, he can't really force you to continue working. But he and Rico are going to stay in the foreman's office for the evening. So they're going to continue some of their work in the office, and then they're going to go to the foreman's for the night.
As some of us come in dripping blood, beaten, bruised, scraped.
I know.
Just so you know, Balak, my spell has worn off, so if anything enters the cave, you will get it killed first.
No, because they're in the foreman's room, which is back here.
Exactly. If a group of brigands come in, they're going to check the first door.
Yeah,
Oh, they're in the room behind us.
They're in the room
Not-
behind you.
Not the. I thought that was
Yes,
the office.
This is the foreman's room. They're in the
Well,
office doing work.
Well, the goblins we haven't
Foreman's
gotten
room
yet
is-
might come up here looking for us, and that's exactly the room they'd be going for.
All right. Yeah, I was thinking it was the office.
If you left goblins alive in there, then you're more foolish than I thought.
Well, we can't clear the mine in one day.
I don't know why not.
Well, I
Look
didn't
at
see you
Rekmit.
out there nearly dying today to do
Rekmit
it.
actually growls at him as if he was actually a real dwarven fighter.
Rekmit is about
Very
to
well.
pass out, and
Do what you want to do. I told you that you can rest after provisioning your animals. It's fine. Leave us be.
And
so
then we
we
put
can
Mahl
work.
in the farthest corners that everyone can watch him.
All right, so let's go ahead and end the session there. So at the beginning of next session, we'll assume that you went out, you provisioned, you got water and food and everything.
Well, and Grimbol would have at least filled everybody's water skins. He would have done that anyway.
Okay. And you got your horses fed and settled, and you fed Daisy and all that.
Yeah,
and
if I
now
could get some
you're-
healing, that would be nice too.
If you could get what?
Healing?
I'm out.
I'm out.
I don't know.
I
You're
can-
evil now. We don't know about you.
Oh,
who?
okay.
Well, I can do one healing. Who needs it more? Rekmit or Maul?
Well, I got 2 hit points.
I will cast Earthly Essence on you.
Yeah, Maul
And
looks in
you have
better
to-
shape than Rekmit. Or worse
You have
shape than
to-
Rekmit.
you have to stay in the mine for 24 hours, but roll a 1d8.
Okay, and I'll do this after I get back from helping water the horses.
Sure.
6.
Okay, so at the start of next session, you have not officially rested. You are about to start resting.
Okay.
And everyone is basically out of medicine.
Out of water.
Spells.
Oh, yes. I have a cure light wound potion.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
Do you
that's-
still have one?
Yeah, I mean, you had 4 potions, right? And I think you gave Rekmit
Oh yeah.
2
Yeah,
of
save
them.
the potions till we
I think we've
definitely
used one
need 'em.
potion.
We
So
used one
Rekmit's still holding
today.
his.
Did you use one in the last session? I'm pretty sure you used
I
one
think
in
we
the last
did
session.
2 total on Grimbol.
Yeah, we use one to save Rekmit's life.
He's one on Rekmit too, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
how I got up to 7?
So that's
Yeah.
that's 3 total. That's 3 total used because Rekmit used one last time and this time, and Grimbol used one.
Yeah.
So,
I
did
I
I?
thought
still
Jake
got
healed.
mine.
I thought Jake healed Grimbol, and then Grimbol said, "Here's my potion right here for future use."
But
Yeah, I
Grimbol
don't
still
recall
has-
using one.
True. Yeah, I think that's true. And I still got one.
We'll figure it
Yeah.
out.
I have 2 left.
2 left total. One's on the Grimbol and one's on somebody else.
Maul.
Maul.
Maul, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Because they got me up over 0, and then I didn't go down again, so I never drank it.
Okay. All right. So 2 healing potions left.
Good game, everybody. Thank you, Samuel.
That was fun.
It was fun.
No one died. So far, so good.
Well,
No,
no one actually died. Totally died.
I think we were close, but yeah.
I mean, technically the day's not over yet, right?
That's true.
Notice I
got a
purposely
nice
didn't
new
say,
sword.
okay, and you rest and then we'll start, right?
I did notice that.
Yeah.
Thanks for
today,
running.
yeah, you were going to try and rest next time.
All right, everybody. So that's going to be it for today's game. So we will see you all next week. Same time, same place. Of course, that doesn't matter because we're not streaming at this point. So that's
Yes.
fine. All right. And
Mm.
thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.